Starstruck, I can't get over you. Now you're lying, just to spite me. Flowers dying, horrify me. I'm trapped, I can't get over you.
I'm a bastard, it's true. Cause what she did to me is what I did to you. I'm a bastard, it's true. Cause what she did to me is what I did to you. Sucks to be you, I know it's true. 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 You need to know I finally understand. And I gotta get in touch with you now, but I can't. Just wanna tell you that I'm sorry. I'm a bastard, it's true. Cause what she did to me is what I did to you. I'm a bastard, it's true. Cause what she did to me is what I did to you. Sucks to be you, I know it's true. 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 Not saying that I wanted you to stay, but tonight I feel like driving my car to LA, just so you can see me crying. I'm a bastard, it's true.
Hi everybody! Can't get my camera working. Nah, that'll be lame. Sorry guys.
Your eyes bleed into mine, but I can't love the same this time. Blacked out, no, I can't see light. No, it won't work, don't tell me I tried. It's so hard to change, man. I can't say you feel the same. Go do what you do, alright. I'm too fucked up, not waking up tonight. Oh, I've been running out of time for you. Too late for us to play pretend. I might just waste it all again. Oh, take me to October. You change your tune up now.
Hey, so if the USB-C cable is not, like, working, do we have another one? I don't think we do. It's the fancy Oculus. Basically, the camera isn't, like, connecting to the computer. Maybe there's a setting? Is there a setting? Thank you. Send.
Oh, I've been running out of time for you. Too late for us to play pretend. I might just waste it all again. Oh, take me to October.
Or is there another way to connect it that isn't through the cable?
Change your tune up now. Sleeping in my room all summer. Oh, I can't make it on my own.
I don't know. Sorry guys, this isn't my camera, so I'm trying to figure it out. Whatever.
Always trying to fix it. Oh, yeah, she hates it. I'll be by the exit. Oh, yeah, I'm caving. I don't wanna stay. Trust is riding. I don't wanna stay.
Well, it's only a webcam. We don't need it. Not really. Some of you. Hello. Alright, welcome into my... I mean, I would say VTuber, but I don't even have that. Welcome into my not camera stream. Have I tried turning it off and on again? That's what Cleedum said. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna murder him in his sleep. Have I tried turning it off and on again? What is this, my first day? I'm just gonna send back a yes. And she's like, and he's like, oh, but on the other side too. Yes. Have you tried unplugging the cable? Yes. Yes. Oh my god, Jubas, thank you so much for their tier 3. That's so unbelievably nice of you. I really, really appreciate that. It's gonna be a voice only stream, maybe. I mean, not really. We'll probably figure it out at some point. There's a USB-C port in the back of the PC? No, I didn't know that. Okay, let me go find that. Okay, Gigi, hold on. Come here. Let me enter. What? If I click YouTube, what is that? Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I just clicked YouTube and now it's like... Anyway. Let me play you Keanu with puppies while I figure this out. There you go.
Fight scenes in The Matrix and John Wick. I did a lot of training and it was really fun. The Matrix, the first time was learning wire and kung fu, and that was months and months and months and months. John Wick was judo and jujitsu and a lot more gun manipulation, and there was lots and lots and lots and lots. I love doing action films. I love the training. I love being there as much as I can to create that relationship between the character and the audience. The puppies have all left. I'm all alone. If you had to live in any of the films you've been in, which one would you choose? Can I visit a bunch of them? I don't want to just be in one era. It's like picking a puppy. But I mean, I guess, you know, eventually you've got to choose. Well, no, you could take them all. I don't know. Can you tell us anything about your character in Toy Story 4?
Okay, it's just the port got a little bit messed up.
I played Duke Kaboom, Canada's greatest stuntman. It was a lot of fun to do that film.
Hello.
It's a cool character. It's a wonderful story. Pixar's great. If you could only have one.
Sorry, Keanu. Bye, Keanu. What's up, everybody? Welcome into the stream. How are you doing? What's up? Good morning. Things have been a bit messy. So that's why I'm a bit late, but oh well. How is everything going? There's more stuff I have to do, but still. What do I have to do? I have to... Open this. Bye, Keanu. Love you, Keanu. Open this. Open this. Turn this. GG.
Connected.
These on. Yay. Sick. Cool. What was broken? The USB-C port. One of the USB-C ports in the computer. The one that I was using for the camera, obviously. So I just put it in a different one. Yay. No more Keanu. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What kind of flowers are they? I actually don't know, but it was very, very sweet. Basically, I tried to guilt Cleat him into picking me up from the airport the other day. And obviously he wasn't going to do that because I wouldn't do that. Like a whole hour away. Like, you know. So he instead cleaned and got me flowers, which is pretty cute. Cute as hell. Hi, Reb, what's up? How are you doing? Sexy lights on! Exactly. Exactly. Wait, you don't even know the half of it. Wait, let me tell him that it worked. Worked. Woo. You don't even know the half of it. Watch this. I said that too soon. No more floral drobe? No more floral drobe. Although, to be fair, our drobe is now in a suitcase and less accessible than before, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. Oh! Wow. Amazing. They might be carnations, but I can't really tell at this angle. Flower! Woo! Flower! Maybe it says on it, actually. It does not. I don't know. Wait, what's this Discord thing? You get 3 months of Discord Nitro if you sub? Wait, is that true? That seems, really? That seems like a lot. That's great. Do we have a mic issue? Hold on. It's been an everything issue today. Microphone. Microphone. Microphone with music in the background. See, that's so interesting because, like, I'll have the music on at the same level every single stream. And then some streams y'all will tell me way too loud. And then some streams y'all will tell me you can't hear it. And I don't know why that's happening. There must be some sort of setting that's, like, flicking things back and forth. It's not Spotify and it's not the Go Slash. I don't understand at all. But just keep telling me and I'll just keep making it nice. Yay. It's peaking. Yeah, I have no idea how to I don't know how to fix that. Like, genuinely, I know. Alright, let's figure it out. Because otherwise it would be lame. Microphone. Ugh. I could literally just make it a bit quieter. Maybe if I actually genuinely just made it quieter, that would be nicer. Like, actually... You have to say microphone into the microphone to turn it on, otherwise there might be a slight problem. Yeah, literally. That's what everyone does when they're testing tech. It's microphone, speakers, sound system. All go. Oh, hello, Polo. Do you know how to fix the mic, Polo? Do you know how to make it stop peaking? Do you have any ideas? He's really sniffing, more so than I. What are you looking for? Oh. One of his BALLs was under the bed, and now he's dropped it by my feet. I was like, what is he looking for? I will throw this on one condition. Is that you are cute and present yourself to stream, because they have had long days and they want to see a dog. Yes? Pour yourself out for social media, I suppose, is what I'm asking of you. You don't need to do that. You have no idea what I'm saying. You're just looking at the wall. Okay. Oh! Yeah! Good boy. He'll either bring it back or he'll lie down. Damn it. I've started something. It'll be the compressor, probably. My compressor's like already all the way up. Okay, I've stuck my compressor on 100. We are now 100% compressed. Which actually, maybe that's better. Fine, but I'm going to throw it down the stairs so that you have more fun things to do. This will be loud, though. I hate making loud noises. All right, here we go. Ready? Hwah! I try and like bounce it off the walls really quick so that it goes down as many flights of stairs as possible, so you can really like really run. That might be the issue. What, that the compressor's at 100? Well, no, I put it at 100 to fix the issue. It was at 60 before. This is Perry.zeb. It is, it really. I wouldn't mind if this is a ball throwing stream. What the whole time. I do actually have like a whole topic and things planned out for today, which is gonna be really, really, really fun. Again? But you were so quick. If you're slower, this lasts longer, and you won't be sad and impatient waiting for me to throw it. Get him! Good boy. Ireel, I don't know. It seems like the compressor shouldn't be at 100. Okay, this is it at 0. No compression. Is that better or worse? I feel like it's not. Microphone. I feel like it's not peaking either. Probably. Now it's too quiet. 30. 30 compressions. Is that better? Can we just have a fetch stream? That'd be nice. Try 45. But then we're dangerously close to where we were. This is 45. So this is how I started the stream. This was the start of the stream. Then I put it up to 65 when y'all started yelling at me like this. Now try 80. 80 compression is what this sounds like. Try 96. Very specific. Specific numbers make me have faith and confidence. This is now 80. 80 compressor. Woo! You can't ask these existential questions on a Monday. That's okay. So this one's the best one, 80. Thank you guys for helping me. I never really know what 80 means versus 45. I don't know what scale we're on, but it's more compression, so GG. It sounds better. Cool. I will save this then for next time. I am still on the Garrick slot. I know. I should move over. Thank you, John. I really appreciate that. Hey guys, what have you been up to this weekend? Hello, 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 hello. What has everyone been doing? What has everyone been up to? If I was to order coffee, I've already had coffee. I've had 2 coffees today, actually. If I had another coffee, is that crazy? Is that like bordering on a problem? But then again, you too would like coffees to deal with the existential question of, and this brings me to today's stream. Music is still quiet. Really? Are you sure? Alright, but don't yell at me if it's loud now. Actually, do yell at me. Do keep letting me know. Thank you. It's very helpful. I'm sick of being toxic. Do decaf. What's the fucking point then? Why would anyone drink coffee for pleasure? I don't understand decaf coffee. I actually don't. I don't get. I also know that the focus is. I know. Yeah. I don't understand decaf coffee. I don't get it. I don't get it. There's no point. There's absolutely no point. Coffee does not taste nice. It doesn't. It's like, but it's bitter and it's weird. And coffee flavored stuff is pretty cool. Like I do like a mocha if it's like very sugary. Give me a frappuccino, coffee cake, delicious, absolutely wonderful. Totally get it, 100%. Coffee on its own is always gross, especially if you're like, oh, I love the taste of a black Americano. Prison. That surely, I don't know if that's in the DSM, but surely that's a symptom of something. What do you mean? You like a black Americano? Do you? Who are you trying to impress? Who's around right now? Genuinely, who is around? What kind of parental dysfunction are you making up for? I'm so confused. But and then you have a coffee and it's like, cool, I'm gonna get a black Americano. I saw the most psychotic woman, and I use that word in the literal sense. No, I'm joking. But I saw the most insane batshit woman go up to the counter, and she said, with a straight face, can I have a decaf Americano, please? No milk, no sugar. The only way that makes sense to me, the only way that I condone that behavior is if it's like she's trying to cut down on caffeine, but it's the association that makes her feel more awake. So she's getting it for the smell and for the experience because it reminds her of how she felt on caffeine as a placebo. That makes sense to me. In which case, go forth, my woman. My woman. That's a weird thing to say. Go forth, my gal, and fly free. Otherwise, if you actually just drink black Americanos. Decaf? Yeah, the black Americano part is not the unhinged. I always order a black Americano. But that's because there's too many choices. There's too many choices of things. I never really know what I want. And I don't want anything too heavy because then I'll be tired and that defeats the purpose of the caffeine. So I would just get mochas, straight mochas all day, but no. So black Americano. Oh, Cleedom. Oh, you said way better, but I hadn't changed anything. But it's where I am. Okay, it's where I am to the mic. I understand. Okay, I'm lowering some things now. Where's the gate? Okay, maybe that would be better. The gate is now lowered. See. 80% of people are lactose intolerant. Is that true? I know that it's more than you'd think. I didn't know it was that high. NDSer? Oh, I did. I'll do it more. There we go. I have a lactose dependence. Oh no. Okay, we're good. Can you hear him shaking? He's throwing a tantrum. Because I didn't throw the BA double hockey sticks. So now he's thrown himself down the stairs quite disgracefully. Trying to manipulate me. It's not gonna happen, buddy. I will only drink Starbucks espressos. Haven't tried much, but those are good and tolerable. Okay. Do you know what I like about that statement? Is it makes me think that you've gone and you tried one thing, you liked that one thing, and now you refuse to try anything else, which I respect. I respect that. Not from like a psychologist perspective, because I feel like that's probably an unhealthy way to view things. But just in general, I respect that. It's like I discovered that I really liked mac and cheese when I was about 7. And now I just eat just various forms of mac and cheese. What do you want for dinner? Italian. Please. If you have never spoken and people speak of you, do you exist? That's if you're defining existence as conceptual, So, like, does Betty Boop exist, for example? Although you could argue she's not just conceptual, because she's also, you know, a character on an actual tangible TV series, and there are drawings of her and posters of her you could put in your room if you wanted to. But let's say I have an idea. A big purple mushroom that's also a lighthouse that some tiny little green people live in. That's just an image in my head. Does that exist now that I've imagined it? Can existence be purely conceptual? Or does it have to have some sort of tangible form? If I drew it, if I wrote it down, if I drew a picture of it, then would it exist? But only in that form, not in the conceptual form. 70C seal broken. Oh, why? Are you sure? I'm sure you're sure, don't worry. Don't let me gaslight you. There's like one tiny little setting I need to flick on that would be the issue. Yeah, it should be working actually. Oh, it works for everybody else. Oh, rip, sorry. It doesn't work, but it works for Gris, and it worked for Kleist. Yeah, Kleist just used one, Dockspin, right there. That's 7TD. So what specifically isn't working, and I'll try and fix it. Maybe it's just for, oh, it's for some people, because it went into maintenance. All right, cool. Oh, I see. Awesome. Well, that sucks, but, you know, I'm glad it's not me. Joel's in chat to celebrate, or to, I guess, brag, if you do have access to 7TV and other people don't. Brag about it. Make him feel like shit. Do it. Joel's. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, go for it. Woo! Look at you go. Look at my fishies. Alright, Chatterinos, my little chatter babies. Today, we are talking about whether or not you're real. Now, there are loads of different types of conversations you can have about this. It could be something like... what would have been, or what will be a cool topic to do later, but this isn't actually the angle I'm going for today, is the idea or this psychological condition where you look in the mirror and you don't necessarily recognize yourself. Now, we've talked about this a bunch of times before, and this isn't what we're talking about today, but we talked about this a bunch of different times before, where you can look in the mirror, feel no necessary emotional attachment to your face because you're supposed to, and that's what links to memories and things like that, and you don't necessarily recognize yourself, or you feel like something's missing, like the life inside of you or the soul is gone, for example. And I don't mean like an Evanescence song, I mean like literally you think you're dead, for example. So there's different syndromes. There's Cotard syndrome, which is where people think that they've died inside and no one's noticed, and it doesn't make sense because it's not supposed to. It's fully delusion. It's like you get a little idea in your head where it's like, oh my god, I'm not real. Why does no one notice? Why does no one care about me? And then that spirals until you really, really believe it. You can kind of make yourself believe anything. You kind of can if you just reinforce it enough. You can make yourself believe anything enough if you try. For example, everyone look at your hands. We've done this before, but we're doing it again. Everyone look at your hands. Alright, now I want you to think to yourself or say to yourself as you look at your hands, that's not my hand, buddy. That's not my hand. It's not my hand. Just keep saying that. Try to keep only like your arm in and nothing else. That's not my hand. Doesn't it feel weird eventually? Doesn't it feel really, really strange? And you're like, huh, I can kind of believe that isn't mine. Where did this come from? Cut it off! Exactly. And that happens all the time. I forgot the name of it. But specifically stuff like that with people's limbs, and that's why I use that example. People will wake up in the middle of the night, and this was actually in an Oliver Sacks book, but still, people would wake up in the middle of the night and try and throw their legs out of bed because why is there a leg in bed with me? This is a horror story, and then accidentally throw themselves with it because it's theirs. But they're just looking at it and they're like, that's not my leg. You know? You can kind of, with enough mental issues and neuroscientific catastrophes, you can kind of make yourself convinced of anything. And whose leg is it? Very good question. Psychology is complicated. It really is. It really is. I think we are really, 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 really smart and really complicated, and brains are amazing. We're also really, really, really dumb in the same way. Your brain can get tricked all the time, and it is constantly tricked in every single way. And that is important for today's stream, because we're not talking about that side of Are You Real? We're talking about the side of us versus robots and machines. So last stream, or last Just Chatting stream, we talked about, we found that podcast. So my, for all intents and purposes, father-in-law showed me an AI podcast tool. And I put one on the Discord, and it absolutely blew my mind. I'm gonna try and find it now. Don't remember where I posted it. Did I just stick it in general? God, I'm such a selfish Discorder. I don't follow my own rules. Please tell me I didn't just stick it in general. Disgusting behavior. Yeah, Notebook LM. Actually, yeah. Oh, thank you. Because I couldn't remember what it was called. So now that you've remembered what it's called, why don't we just make our own one again? Now, we did do this previously, so don't worry. I'm not gonna spend ages. But this just made me think, okay, we should do a stream about this. We should do a psychological neuroscientific stream about this and why we get tricked so easy. And I thought that would be fun, so that's what we're doing today. Hi, Nutslow. I am not real. I'm so sorry to hear that. But I think people have these sorts of things all the time. So it's very, very hard to tell. And this is some very common delusions that people have, some very common fallacies. Let me change the music. If you've seen The Good Place, or you've probably just heard of this anyway, I don't think The Good Place came up with it, but this scene in A Good Place is what popped into my head, where Simone is a character and she's in hell, or heaven, or whatever. And she believes, because she's a neuroscientist, she believes that she is just in a coma. And that everything she's experiencing, all of the other people in this world being dead, all of this stuff, all these other characters, they're just figments of her imagination. Vicky, oh my gosh, hi! Hello, and thank you. How are you doing? We are. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I have been informed we are friends. Yes, me too. Yes, I was told that we would get on. And Tonya showed me some of your texts. Nothing too personal, but she showed me a text message that you had sent her and be like, this is why you would like her. You speak like this too. Apparently we just do as we're told, but with, what's the word? Begrudging. Oh, there's something funny to be said there, but I don't remember what it is. Basically, Tonya, and tell me if this is... Don't let me speak for you. But basically, Tonya will tell us to do something like, you need to set up this account, or you need to message this person, and we'll just be like, okay, whatever. Whereas other people might ask questions. We are compliant, maliciously so. We're getting set up. We really are. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I can't believe I haven't messaged you yet. But no, you're here. Thank you for being here. Begrudging sass. Yeah, like I'll do it, but I won't be happy about it, bitch. Yeah, that's my vibe, at least. I'm very nice to work with. Please want to work with me if anyone's watching who might do pericardial not management .no. And if you have Amazon Prime, sorry, I just thought I'd get them all out in one go. You can sub to me for free. And there's something to do with Discord Nitro today. I don't know what that is. Does anyone know what's going on with Discord Nitro? Like I think you get Discord Nitro if you give Twitch money. I don't, but if you give me money, I don't know. I don't know what's, you don't need to give me, it's free, but still. I just smile and wave and go, that's right, okay, yeah. Do you also do the thing where you'll say you'll do something and then you just don't? And then she reminds you like a week later and you're like, yes! But then you just don't again. Or is that just me? But like I want to, like I will. Like I am going to do it. I've been setting up a TikTok stream, like simultaneous stream, as well as Twitch and YouTube for about 1.5 years. I'm in the process. It has literally been a year. You just reminded me I said yes to 2 things and I've not done them. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. No, shh. Listen, block it out. Play games. Play video games are your friends, and they can't hurt you, and it's not work like other things might be. You're in the process. I'm in the process of about 10 different things. I have many processes ongoing. I'm a multi-processable person. I'm like American cheese or some sort of weird ham that they feed children. You're in Valorant right now. Perfect. I'm in the process of doing all these things. I'm a complex individual. I have multi-threading. I have a lot of threads all up in me. And they will get done when the time is right. It's all, at the end of the day, now I don't subscribe to fate or anything spiritual at all, me personally, but at the end of the day, it's up to Jesus, isn't it? She said, atheistically, it's up to Jesus at the end of the day. It's out of my hands. Oh my god, Curly! Hi, it's so nice to see you. It was so nice to meet you finally in San Diego. Yes, games make me happy too. Games are good. Yes, we play games. Put a 1 in the chat if you like games and they make you feel less sad about things. Not that we should, you know, use things like that to escape our sadness. Coping mechanisms can help you cope and they have value and they can be good, but also if you only do the coping mechanism and you're not actually dealing with the reason why you're sad, then that's not healthy. Not healthy. At the same time though, Valorant is pretty fun. It's pretty therapy, darlings. Yes, at the end of the day, always therapy. That's my PSA because educational psychology stream. I can't just go around being like, ignore your problems. Play video games. I can and I do. Escapism, yay. Escapism has value. Everyone will be like, oh, you can't just play video games and forget about your issues. But the thing is, you can. The thing is, you can't. You can't just do that. But then you can do that. That is valid. It's just like, okay, if you have symptoms of ADHD, you can drink coffee as a way of self-medicating. Not all self-medication is bad. Now, watch your coffee intake. Self-medication in the form of A, cocaine, or B, wine is bad. Don't do that. Any other drug is fine. Those two specifically. Heroin, fine. No, I'm joking. But don't do that. But video games are fine. Also, games like Valorant, they improve your visual acuity in your eyesight, especially if you have a lazy eye. If you have a lazy eye, there have been studies to show that you can cover one of those eyes, or cover your good one, which is called patching, is what they usually do for kids under 7. Patch one of them, the good one, and then play lots of FPS games, and people, adults, like 40-something-year-old adult, like proper adult age adults, have improved with their lazy eyes, which is crazy. And to put that in perspective, if you guys don't know about this, people thought that you couldn't do that. People thought that after a certain age, usually around 7, 8, 9, after a certain age, you couldn't improve a lazy eye anymore. That's why they treat it so fast in kids, and all those kids running around with eye patches. I thought they were just diseased. I remember seeing all these little like nerdy kids in eye patches, and I just thought they were like real gross. But no, they had a lazy eye. The more you know. The more you know. Hi Daniel, what's up? Welcome in. How are you doing? Snowlow, thank you so much for the 6 months. That's so nice. I'm here for my daily psychosis, induced by the daily title. Oh, well, thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Oh wait, induced. I give you psychosis. Embrace the Delulu, make it the Trilulu, and then you'll be exulued? Like, does that work? Like exalted? Is that? I don't know. Does that work? Ivan, thanks for the follow, and Dasso, thanks for the follow too. And Dune, are you still here? I'm so sorry. I think I missed your sub, which is disgusting of me because you subbed at tier 3. Can we get some Joels in chat? I'm so sorry if I missed that. I'll message you if you're not here now. Thank you. Fulvulued. Yes, if you embrace the Delulu, make it Trilulu, you will feel fulvulued. That's good. That works. I think that really works. Matsu, thanks for the prime as well. Thank you guys, it's so sweet. Sure, Perry. Thank you, Vicky. I needed that. I needed that a lot. I've never played Valorant, but I've always been tempted. Curly, you haven't played Valorant? See, I'm not a big FPS game person. Not because I don't like them. I'm just really bad. And they make me angry. It's not good for my rage. But I do really like them, so I'm very enthusiastic. I'm enthusiastically bad. I've been playing Valorant for like 3 years. And I played with my friend. Well, he was my friend at the time. He's my friend now, but at the time he was interviewing me, and he's like a big scary YouTuber, and I was like, oh my, Oh my god. And we hopped on Valorant for our first like meeting, like after our interview. And I was so bad that he said to the other people in the lobby, "Don't worry, it's her first time. I'm teaching her." And he said that to save me, and it was actually very nice of him to say that. Don't worry, it's her first time. He knew full well it was not my first time. It's in like 3 years. It's okay. I feel like if I practice, I could do it. I feel like if I tried. It's because I haven't tried, Mom. That's why my grades are bad. I forgot this. Yes, I did. Thank you, Eku. Thank you for DMing me as well. I saw that. I just ignored it. Just so you know. Accidentally ignored it. For some Are You Real discussions. And you and I are the same. She was... Oh, I hate that though. I mean, no, I'm glad that we're the same. And I'm glad that this has happened. I hate that Tonya was right. I never like saying stuff like that to her. Because I feel like she goes, obviously. I have a feeling that me saying to her, "Oh, you're right about this," actually pisses her off. Because it insinuates that there was a point in time that I didn't think she was right. I genuinely think that is the thought process. If I say, "Oh, you're so right," she's like, "Wait a second. You didn't just automatically assume that I was." What do you mean? So we're going to have to lie. Yes. Oh my God, Vicky. Yes, we're gonna have to lie about it. We have to lie. We have to say she's wrong. We have to go into our separate meetings and we have to talk badly about each other and say, "I hate that bitch. She's the worst. We're nothing alike at all. She told me that she cuts up puppies and puts them in stews." Let's try and get each other fired and see who wins. Who can get kicked out. She doesn't know. Oh, Curly, that would be so fun. That would be so fun. She's the worst. I can't believe you thought this was a good idea. Like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, like, what are you... This is insulting to me that you thought we were the same. This is insulting. This is what you think of me? That's fun. My usual excuse for incompetence is that I'm a generalist, not a specialist, which I think is valid. I love that. Yeah, I always say it's not my area. You guys haven't actually... I feel like I've told you, but I say this isn't my area a lot. I don't know if you've noticed. It begs the question, what is my area? Sometimes. Because every stream will be about something different in psychology. So we'll pull from a bunch of different, like departments and schools of thought and stuff. And for each one, I'll just be like, this isn't really my area. This isn't really my area. But every stream, it's different. So what is my area, chat? I know. I do have an area, but it's very specific. I have a very specific area. And it's not that interesting to me anymore because I know so much about it. So I would rather talk about this stuff, which is not my area. Not my circus, not my class. Oh, Spirit. That's sweet of you. But we don't know. That's true, car oven. Car oven. It seems like a hazard. Were you just like, when you were coming up with your username, were you just like looking out the window trying to see what you could see? My friend did that actually. He didn't want to go on Twitch. He made a Twitch account so he could watch my stream. He didn't want to watch my stream. He only watched it the one time, begrudgingly, and then told me it was terrible, and then hasn't been on it since. This is my, like, one of my best friends ever, who I've known for, like, 6 years, who I lived with for one of those. I'm fine. It's fine. No, he hates it. He hates you. All of us. He hates all of us as a collective. So you should feel offended too. Actually. Thank you. Anyway, don't listen to him. He's wrong. We're great. But that's what he was doing to make a Twitch account because he cared about it so little. He just literally opened his eyes, looked at his room, and named himself after the first thing he could see. So his username was empty deodorant can. I'm not joking. And I thought maybe that was like complex. And I was like, oh, what's that based on? You know, is that how you feel on the inside? Are you the empty vase? No, just the first thing I could see. Okay. I think he's deleted it now. I also messaged him a week ago. He hasn't replied to me. I hate this guy. He's the worst. Why am I friends with him? I thought I was gonna die the other day. I embraced the win-win of the situation. That's dark. I'm sorry. But I thought I was gonna die the other day because I was in a plane. I don't go in planes often, so when I do, I talk about it every single day for the next 3 weeks. But guys, did you know I went to Italy? But I came back. I was in a plane, and there was a storm. Well, they said there was a storm. We exaggerate sometimes, the British. Anything that isn't completely mild, everyone freaks out and is like, oh, the weather! It was quite windy. It was a little bit windy. It was slightly windy. Even my pilot. So at the start of the flight, we were an hour delayed because the pilot had to watch out for the weather warnings. And then at the start of the flight, over the tannoy, he said, in the most British accent, it was amazing. He said, it's going to be a bit precarious, not really sure about like when we're due to land because we might be way faster than we anticipated. But just letting you know, this is the situation with the approaching storm and all of this stuff, right? A storm Ashley. And then when we landed, he goes, he says into the tannoy, yeah, everyone was freaking out about that, but it's like, it's not that bad. He literally, this professional pilot was like, it was fine. Okay. No, but I did think I was gonna die though, because I've never been in a plane during any sort of adverse weather at all. I don't know why. It seems unlikely that's the case, but I just happen to have never been in a plane where it was raining or anything, or if it was raining, it's a mild drizzle, you know? But it was quite windy. It was a storm. It was definitely a storm. And it was raining a lot. And I was coming down to Gatwick. And the plane was going like this. Like, literally like this. And he was trying to land it, and he was like... I was like, oh, okay. And we were coming down really fast to the point that he had to keep pulling us up again because we were coming down too fast.
There was an actual storm above Wales, right? I've been on a flight to Gatwick before where the pilot needed 3 attempts at landing because the plane had the shakes that bad. Never heard that many screams on a plane.
Oh my god, people were screaming? That's so intense. Right, so, okay, that didn't quite happen to me. It was just south of that. It was the worst I've ever been on, but not quite like that. And think of the bit. Oh my god! Okay, so I've been calling you Midas for my entire life. Because I've got the Midas touch. Everything I touch turns to gold. Hey! But you're Scottish and it's not pronounced like that, is it? Because I rated you. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to Midas. And then as soon as I rated, you said, hello everyone, my name's... Midas. Meters. It's not me does, is it? Sorry, I don't want to gaslight you about your own name. You know how it said. Metis. Like Cletus, but with mead. You're correct with the Soggen version. The fucking what? I know him, don't let him lie to you. Wait, is it actually Midas? Oh my god, Vicky. Why did you do that then? Is it actually Midas? Oh, so why did you introduce yourself as... Did you put on an accent to say your own name? That's really funny. You put on a fake accent to say your own name in the accent that you already have. That's so funny. Now, I don't want to sound narcissistic. Was it to gaslight me? Or is that just something you do? I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start telling people my name is... No, but that's insane. That's like people coming into my stream and being like, hi everyone, I'm Perai. Like that's why would you do that? I'm a bit of a gambling man. Okay. And I felt so bad about it. I was talking about it to myself in my bedroom for like an hour. Can't believe I've been calling him by the wrong name this whole time. I'm absolutely fuming, mate. Yeah, it's so weird. I'm gonna let you all make up your mind. TGS calls me Vicky. Okay, I do see why though, to be fair. Vicky. To be fair, my brother's name... I don't know if I should say this. I'm going to anyway. My brother's name is Zeki. And he had a very, very, very Scottish karate instructor when he was a kid. And they corrected him many times. But the Scottish instructor kept calling him Zeki. Zeki. And they were like, that's not my name. that's not my name. Doesn't matter. That's your people. Is that how you would say it? I've only met 3 Scottish people in my life, and 4 Scottish people in my life, and so you're a quarter of my population. Which is weird because I lived in Scotland for a year, but it was full of Americans. Anyway, we did meet. No, we haven't. We haven't. You gaslight me again. We haven't. When did we meet? No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Where did you? Where? We met at TwitchCon Rotterdam. You went to Rotterdam? Because I've been excited to meet you, and I'm like, oh, maybe he'll go to DreamHack and we can meet for the first time. You tried to hire one of my editors. Oh, that does sound like something I would do. Yeah, Cleedum, you told me. I thought you were being racist. It turns out I was the racist this whole time. Because Cleedum was like, we were arguing about this actually. Cleedum was like, I feel like I've met Midas, and I was like, no, you haven't. No, you haven't. We haven't met Midas. You're thinking of Duncan, this other white Scottish boy. I'm like, no, we've met Duncan. We haven't met Midas. And I thought he was being racist. It turns out it was me. Sorry. Sorry. Shit, our collab. Oh, I totally forgot about that too. Oh my god. All right. Well, that's me done, I think. Oh, can someone redeem leave? Please? If there was ever a time. If there was a... No, oh, you did? Beowulf redeemed leave? Oh, you did? Thank you so much. Oh, thank fuck.
Burn the witch!
Because I was going to be like, oh, maybe we could even, like, go to Scotland. I'm so confused. I have a condition. I have a mental health condition and a physical health condition that impacts my memory of events and people's faces, specifically Scottish white boys. So it's not personal. I'm on medication for it. I also have brain damage and other things like that. Right, moving on. Today we're talking about AI. Yay! Well, we're not really talking about AI. We're talking about, we're talking about sexy boys from the 1920s. We're also talking about, I don't want to say we're talking about AI because I don't really know anything about AI. So we're not going to be talking about AI. We're going to be talking about like why we think AI is real, even though it's not. Well, it is real. Is it a real person? Is it conscious? Is it intelligent? Other question. Why do we keep doing that? Why do we keep thinking that? Why do we keep bugging out when a robot tells us its feelings? And it's not just about that. It's also about why do we do the same thing with animals? You know, I could look into the eyes of a lion who just wants to eat me, and I could be like, "Aw, we're bonding." Why do we do that? Why do we do that? What's going on up here? Why? That doesn't make any sense. Why do we do this? And you did your master's in advanced artificial intelligence from Sweden. That's so cool, Swiss Kenning. You can be so helpful here if you want to be. You're gonna be useful. Yes. It's not conscious. I can talk about this, oh my god, literally all my life. You're gonna be so helpful too! Oh my god, everyone knows about this. This is so good. This is gonna be such an intense discussion. We're all gonna be arguing with each other. I love this. Yes, let's fight. So my knowledge on AI is not huge. I know that it is a thing, and I know that it's not conscious as of yet. I also know that the line between a conscious being and a robot will probably get approached at some point if we don't all die out by then. And when we do approach that line, we'll have absolutely no way of knowing whether or not it's conscious. Or just really good at pretending. We'll have no way of knowing. So I guess pick a team now and stick to it. Are you team robot or are you team human? If we're playing Detroit Become Human, I would... this is why I say please and thank you to ChatGPT. just starting now. Just starting early. What is consciousness anyway? That's a very good question. We did a whole stream on what consciousness was. And actually, we can start there. I wasn't thinking about doing that. Let me find my notes from that stream. We can start on what actually consciousness even is. But more we're going for the anthropological side of this. Probably. What is conscious in this context? So it's basically my interpretation of what people are aiming for with AI, and you guys might know. Your master's is in applied mathematics. That's so hard. I mean, cool. I mean, respectable. That's so... and useful. That's very cool. Piano Man, thanks for the follow. And Beowulf, thank you so much for the bits. Please keep flirting with me, okay? Hi, Cicada, what's up? Yeah, so conscious in this context, or what I gather that people want from AI is for them to truly understand what you're saying to them, not just repeat back codes and values, but truly understand what you're saying to them and be able to come up with their own ideas and have their own, maybe not emotions, but conception of themselves. Now, where is the line between following language? You know, if someone gives you a list of instructions and you just do the instructions versus actually knowing what's going on. How can you possibly know that? You can't see inside their head. You can see inside their code. It's impossible for a machine to develop self-consciousness. I actually disagree with that. Now, I don't know a lot about... My area is in neuroscience, not AI. So I'm probably coming at this from a different angle. I believe, personally, myself, I don't subscribe to anything... spiritual. I don't believe in a soul. I believe that we are our brain and to some extent our body, because there's cross feedback and there's communication between different parts of our bodies as well. It's not all up here, but it's mostly up here. We are our brain is what I believe in. That's a school of thought. It's called materialism, if you want to know. I'm a materialist. And so from that angle, I believe... I can't see a reason why you can't just recreate the brain. If you can figure out what the brain is, and that's, step one, which we haven't done yet. But if you can figure out what the brain is and what's actually going on and what each of these parts actually do and how it actually works, which is very confusing and we'd have no idea. But if you can figure that out, then you can make it with like plastic or something. I don't know. But you can make one artificially. And then if you can make one artificially, in my opinion, there would be absolutely no difference between that and a human. Yeah, well, I think we're like one big organic CPU. I do think that. It's not impossible, but we are not in the state of technology, algorithms, or data quality and quantity where a machine can create consciousness at this moment. Totally agree. Yeah, I think we must be so unbelievably far off. And like, I don't know much about that side of it. But even just from the how does the brain work, we don't know either. We don't know what our own consciousness is. We don't know what the process is for it yet either, let alone trying to actually recreate it. Even if we did have the technology, which we don't. So, oh, thank you, Tusky. I really appreciate that. What is deja vu? Oh, that's a fun question. Deja vu is basically when there's a little break in the matrix. So basically, you'll be like carrying on throughout your life, and then all of a sudden, the aliens will like fuck up. They'll like spill their coffee on the machine or something, and the walls will come down. And then you'll see like a glimpse of something going wrong, like the machine will bug out. And so like you'll be like, oh, I've done this day before, but that's because they just had to hard reset and reset your memory to make up for the spin copy. Yeah, that's what it is. No, there are lots of theories as to what deja vu is. There's loads and loads of theories. My favorite... Is that my favorite theory? I don't know. I'll give you a couple. No one actually... Well, I say no one knows. We don't know, really, because it's impossible to test. Like, what are you going to do? Put someone in a room and wait for them to have deja vu? Like, how are you going to test that? It's so difficult. So there's like very, very, very little sense of it. But there are a couple theories. One is that you're basically processing each thread of what's happening in your environment at any given one moment on different... I've said this wrong. You're in a restaurant. You have different senses. You walk into a restaurant, you can smell things, that's one. You can hear things, sounds, plates clattering around, that's two. You're seeing stuff, you're seeing a bunch of different things, you've got memories and associations and emotions linked to everything. Let's say at this restaurant they had the same tablecloth as your grandmother's house before. And so you're like, huh, grandma, what a bitch. You know, like you have all those memories. Can't believe she didn't leave me anything in her will, the cunt. Anyway, so you have all of that going on all at once, but mostly it's about your senses. And the idea is that we're processing each one of those senses differently at different times, and one of them just might get slightly delayed. So you've processed the image you're seeing and the sounds you're hearing and all of that. But your process of the smell of the scene is just like a tiny little bit behind. And then you think, oh wait, I've done this already, because you have done this already, but you did it in different ways, if that makes sense. That's one. This Rustler burger tastes just like grandma's recipe. Literally. There is also the hologram theory. So that's called the divided attention theory. Oh no, sorry. That's called the dual processing theory. The other one is the hologram theory, which is basically where you have a memory of something. So if we just focus on the grandma's tablecloth part, instead of taking that as another thread of another sense of something your brain's doing, let's just take that looks like grandma's tablecloth. You can't remember that it was grandma's tablecloth. Let's say that instead. You walk in, you see the tablecloth, you recognize it, and it makes you feel something. It makes you feel this emotion, this memory from a very distant time, but you don't know what it is. You can't remember it's grandma's. You can't remember where you've seen it before. And you're not really paying that close attention. So you're not really looking at it. You're not really thinking about it. It's a subconscious vibe that's happening off in the background of your brain. And that's where you get the deja vu. It's like, oh, I've been here before. This exact thing has happened before. It actually hasn't. But you've seen that tablecloth before. But you're not aware that that's what it is about the scene that's making you think you've been here before. How do ghosts and demons fit in materialism? They don't. Then the third one. The third main one is called divided attention. And I think this is my favorite. I think this is my favorite theory as to what deja vu is. Because I think it makes the most sense. It seems the simplest. Basically, that idea... Oh, thank you, Vermi. Thank you for the bits.
Dr_Vermi says, I have a personal theory that the brain isn't that interesting. It's a universal learner with lots of biologically induced quirks, but as is, an almost blank slate learner. Just like artificial networks. And what makes us us is actually the data we learn on, i.e. the world we share. How far off am I? Given that we aren't even born with vision, even the visual cortex is learned, etc. How blank are we initially? And how much does the data we ingest change what the brain does?
So I don't know. Thank you for the bit. I don't know if I would agree that we're blank slate and that it's just what we learn off. I mean, I don't think it's completely accurate either to say that we're born without vision, because you can. That's not true. You see things straight away. You can. There's loads and loads of tests that show that babies actually prefer, or like newborns within the first few weeks, prefer their parents' faces to strangers' faces that they haven't seen before. So they're clearly conceiving of something. The first thing that you can see, obviously beyond like the lights and the vague colors and shape stuff, but the first thing that babies do pretty much within the first month of living is being able to tell the proportions of a human face. They know 2 eyes, nose, mouth. They know that shape. And so stuff like that, there's a big argument for things that you're born with. So there's 3 different schools of thought when it comes to nature versus nurture. And one, I don't remember what they're called, but one is we are born innately with everything. So it's like the opposite of what we're saying. We're born innately with absolutely everything. The way we are born is the way that we are. He was a serial killer because he was born to be a serial killer. You know, he's just fucked up, right? Or you're really smart because you were born really smart. Or you're really good at cooking because genetics, or I don't know. And then there's the other side, which is like you're saying, you're not born with anything. Nothing is innate. Everything is learned. Everything is societally constructed. The real answer is that it's somewhere in between. My personal preference to this question is that we're born genetically predisposed to learn certain things. So for example, learning to recognize the face, the shapes of a human face, we're predisposed to be good at that. So people learn that within the first few weeks of life, because that's like the number one thing for survival. We're really, really fucking good at telling what a human eye looks like compared to any other animal. We can spot the human eye really quickly and we know if something's not quite human. Uncanny valley, so unbelievably strong, and we do that within the first few months of life. Like we are so good at that because our brains are predisposed to being good at that stuff. Similarly, based on your own family trees and your own genetics, you can be predisposed to developing mental health disorders. Like bipolar is very genetic as one. Or you can be predisposed to being really good at golf. I don't know why. You just learn golf quicker. The specific cognitive skills are like really good in your family that you need for golf. So you learn how to do that quicker than other people. You still, of course, do need to learn it. And you can learn stuff you're not predisposed to have. You can not develop that mental illness. You can develop a mental illness that isn't in your family at all and is super genetic. So don't know how that happened, but that's very common. So I think I lean more on the side of things are socially learnt and constructed. And I think you're right that like that's a really high % of everything, more so than people anticipate. But you're all the way on one end. I wouldn't be all the way on one end. I'd hedge my bets. I'm somewhere in the middle. And I think that's where most researchers would be. But I like it. And I don't completely disagree. Hi Caligula, thank you so much for the prime. And thank you for the follows, Linty and Ahmed. I appreciate that as well. Why don't I believe in ghosts and demons? They've been spotted. Well, lots of things have been spotted. For example, my friend the other day saw a demon coming up his stairs. Of course, he does hallucinate. Now, I'm not saying it's always a hallucination. For him, it was a hallucination. You could also be dreaming. You can also be tired. You can also have too much caffeine, too little caffeine. You can also, be going through a stressful time. You could be having some sort of sleep paralysis. It was the lettuce. No, he's schizophrenic. But that's true. Yeah, drugs. I forgot about the drugs. Weed shouldn't make you hallucinate, though. If weed is making you hallucinate, I would question who's selling it to you. And maybe I would find a different person to sell it to you. Or, stay safe out there. We don't condone crime. But still. I see them all the time when I get sleep paralysis. Oh, I'm so sorry that happens to you. That's so scary. That's so scary, Ahmed. Sleep paralysis sucks. It is very common. Although if it's happening a lot, it might be something to do with your sleeping or to do with, your brain. So maybe go to a doctor. They might have ways to help. It shouldn't be happening all the time. But it is common to happen to you every now and then. Demons walk the earth every day, everywhere. Yeah, I can think of several politicians that would apply to. Potentially. Yeah. It's totally valid if you guys believe in demons and ghosts. I just don't. Myself, myself, personally, me. But believe whatever you want so long as you're not hurting anyone. But do remember, kids. Do remember, if you think you are seeing demons, don't kill them. But Perry, why? They're demons. Because sometimes they're not demons. Sometimes they're a grandmother that lives next door and you beheaded them and now you're in prison. That happened in my street. He genuinely thought he was helping, though. He was really unwell. He's okay now. Oh, yeah. So just as a general rule, if you think you see a demon, don't kill it because it's probably a neighbor. Like, actually, genuinely. Sorry, I'm desensitized to this. Was that a lot? Don't kill Matt. Yeah, don't kill Matt Damon either. Bit too high profile. But what about that one time when it is a demon? I think you just have to roll those dice. Run away. Maybe aim for running. I don't know. Run really fast away from the demon and run in a straight line straight to the doctor's office. That's what I would recommend. Should we put the cult away? You should probably put the cult away. Yeah. Yeah. It's only got one bullet, hasn't it? No, they just randomly like found a way to make more. I was really confused about that. You know, okay, this is Supernatural. This is a Supernatural. If you haven't seen Supernatural, then you're missing out. In Supernatural, there's like, should I explain? Do I need to explain this? What's Supernatural? No, do not run, especially on streets or public spaces. Walk calmly, but briskly to the nearest doctor's office. No spoilies. You're right too, as well, that's true. Silent Hill 3 actually has a conversation where a guy says to the protagonist, you see them as monsters. There's a Silent Hill 3? Sorry, that's not the what do you find out what that guy sees them as opposed to monsters? That's so interesting. There are like 7. Oh, sorry. I've only played the one that just came out. The Silent 2 remake. Does that mean he's killing normal people? This is what I've been saying. That's what I was saying this whole time. I made jokes like this. There's clips of me saying this. There's evidence. This is what I've been saying this whole time. He's walking down the street. He's just coming to this random town. And he's just beating like women up to death with a baseball bat. And he's like, oh, what's this? You know? James needs therapy. James has lost it. This is what I was saying. James has lost his wife and he's decided instead of going to therapy, he's gonna like hallucinate her voice and hallucinate her writing to him and then just no, okay, I don't actually know what happens in the game. I haven't finished it, but like this is just my take. Okay. He's absolutely delulu. He is convinced that his wife is still alive. He goes to this random town that they've sort of kind of been to once that resembles a sort of place where they had a date once, but like whatever, why is she even there? Doesn't even know. He goes in and he just starts beating everyone up with a bat because he's absolutely lost his mind, because there must be some kind of reason why she would be there or something bad would happen to her, and or he killed his wife. This is my other assertion. He killed his wife and he can't deal with it. He killed his wife, so now he just hallucinates his wife everywhere. That's why they're all women in chunky wedges. Now, I don't know if she liked chunky wedges, but if I see a cutscene where she's in a chunky wedge, that's evidence. Fucking hell. Bloody hell. Thank you, Bush. Thank you for the bits. That was really well timed. There's an episode of Black Mirror with similar topics. Oh, yeah, I think you're right. I think I've seen that. Don't remember, though. If your wife is still alive, do you even really love her? What? My heart dropped. I'm sorry, Nelson. Get spooked. It did. It really did. It really did. Sorry, we were talking about deja vu. I went on a side note. Cably, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 31 months. I appreciate that. We're getting ancient, Perry. We're basically family after all this time. It's nuts. I mean, you've still got no idea who I am. Why am I reading this like this? I mean, you've still got no idea who I am, but that just makes me mysterious and cool. You are all very mysterious and cool to me. That's true. It has been so long, man. You are all very mysterious and cool to me because I can see a username and a color, and from which I interpret your entire personality. Very mysterious and cool. I have no idea. Y'all can accost me on the... Please don't do this. But y'all could accost me on the street and I'd be like... Do they watch my stream? Do they just live in London? Is it my grandmother? I would have no idea. I've never met my grandmother. That's not true. I don't know why I said that. I thought it'd be funny. I know all of my family. No, I don't. But I know, yeah. Yes, I am your grandmother. Oh, no. Oh, Oh, you actually haven't met your grandmother. I'm sorry. What's that like for you and for your parent, your respective parent, if you don't mind me asking? If we sent you a YouTube video of us saying hi, would that help? That'd be cute as hell. We could do that on the Discord. We could have like, because we have a channel for like introductions. I think you guys already can. I just don't think anyone has. You could have like a video introduction. Be like, hey. Wait, I feel like a few of you have done that before. It's nice. That's nice. No pressure, obviously. The Discord is a very anonymous place. That makes it sound weird. It's like, we have movie nights, and you don't need a camera or a mic or anything like that. And we don't talk to you as a matter of principle unless you talk first, and I like that. And that's kind of the vibe that I like to maintain. Because I've been in a lot of Discords, and I've been in a few movie nights and other events and stuff like that. And they talk to you, man. They ask your opinions for stuff because they like you, and they're being social, and they want to be friends with you. But I need a warm-up period. I need like a month of being there. I need like a month of being there and not saying anything until I'm ready to start interacting. And then I don't want to answer any questions. I just want to crack a joke and then mute myself. Yeah. So it's the option is what's important. It's baby steps. That's how I roll. Yeah. But, oh, sorry. Yes, deja vu. 3 theories. I set this up while y'all were talking about other things. Three theories. Why am I so large? There we go. Okay, three theories. One is jaw processing. Basically, you're in a place, all of your different senses are split up, so you have your smell, your sound, your vision, etc. And just one of those threads, one of those senses is like a tiny little bit of time just behind the other one. So you're like, oh, I've already been this, I've already processed this before, and you have, but you haven't quite processed all the smells or something like that. That's one. The second is a hologram theory. So there's an element of the scene that reminds you of something, but you don't know what, and you're not consciously thinking about it. So you're walking into a room, something in your peripherals is like very familiar, but you push it out, it's all subconscious, and you go, huh, I feel like I've been here before. You haven't been there before, but you have been in a place with that same curtain, right? And then number 3 is my favorite. Number 3 is called divided attention. Divided attention. And this one seems the simplest to me, or it makes the most sense, I think. Divided attention is basically when you've already processed the scene, just subconsciously or in your peripherals, and then you think about it. And this happens about the stupidest, smallest, tiniest fraction of a second before. So someone could say something to you like, hey Sally, how was your weekend? I went to the beach. What did you do? In the office. Let's say your name is Sally, otherwise this would be weird. Let's say that. And as she's finished speaking, you're like sort of aware of what she said and that you've been spoken to. And then you think about it and then you answer. It's just your brain being slow. Literally, your brain is being slow. That's literally. It's just like a little before you subconsciously to then consciously process what's happened. So you walk into, let's say you walk into the restaurant again and you're like, huh, restaurant. And then you're like, huh, restaurant. It's brain lag. Exactly. But you're not aware of that happening because it's way too quick and it's way too internal process. You're not aware that your brain is lagging. So to you, it feels like this has happened before. And you can never really place where before. So a lot of people attribute it to a dream. A lot of people think, oh, I dreamed this, because you can't think of a time contextually where you would have been in this situation before logically. So it can't be a memory. And it feels very far away because it's very weird. It's very strange, so it's very far away. So it must have been a dream a while ago. I don't remember that happening to me. Should it be something? Is it common? Deja vu is very, very common, but it doesn't happen to everybody. It doesn't have to. It's not a bad thing if you don't have deja vu. If you have deja vu all the time, like constantly, like a couple times a week, I would go to the doctor. Or if it's just to the point where it bothers you, like if you have really strong ones and it like actually upsets you, I would go to the doctor. The milk glass dream is reality. What's the milk glass dream? Deja vu is karma catching up. So like if I do like a bad thing, God punishes me by making me feel like I've talked to Sandra before. Damn, man, what you got against Cassandra? That doesn't make any sense to me at all. But hey, I'm not an expert, except in the literal sense. I'll take that. You like that one? Okay, yeah, we can take that one. That's the argument. I think it's the Matrix or parallel dimensions. Here are some other ones that are not real, but could be cool. Hey, parallel dimensions is my favorite one. Because people think that like the same thing has happened in a different dimension, and that little deja vu is just you accidentally peeking into your alternative self. I just think they're simpler. I think these things are way simpler than that. I wouldn't assume that, you know. And this is my theory. When I pick a theory for various stuff that we don't actually know why it happens, but when I pick a theory for various phenomenon, my rule is, what is the easiest thing? What is the easiest, simplest answer? And then I believe that one until there's more evidence. And I just think your brain going whoop is simpler and easier and has way less gaps, like of stuff we don't know, than all of the others. Yeah, like switching personality between dimensions, exactly. Occam's razor. Oh yes, yeah. The simplest answer is that I'm AI. The simplest answer is God. Well, that's not true. Now again, absolutely, if you believe in God, go forth. I personally do not, but that's just one belief of many. Equally valid. You go forth. I have no idea if I'm right, so GG. But if you think about it, God is not the simplest answer. There's so many like, that's very complicated. Doesn't mean it's not true. Doesn't mean it's not true. But it's not simple. There's like a omnipresent force out there that evades detection, that builds and creates everything. That is very complicated and has lots of things lots of variables that we haven't figured out. Explaining deja vu twice. Oh yeah. Well, I really want to say that was on purpose. But it wasn't. Oh, but that was so good. That would have been so good if I did do that. A few years ago, I went to Amsterdam. Hold on, I need to do this in reverb, don't I? A few years ago, I went to Amsterdam with a couple friends, smoked up at a coffee shop, went to have a drink next door, high as kites. In short, I saw an orange juicer machine, and they also had in the previous place. I got very confused. Like, have you been in the same place all along? What's going on? What's real? What isn't? Genuinely thought I had gone insane. Big cuckoo, gone to the other side, lost to Delulu forever with no way to come back. One of the scariest things ever. Exactly. And the fun thing about the brain is that all of the chemicals are the same. Maybe not all of the chemicals, but the chemicals are the same. The things that get fucked up are the same. So when you take a bunch of drugs, right, and obviously it depends which drug, but let's say you're high as a kite on weed, or actually let's talk about LSD, because that's more like chemically woo than others. So let's say you take one something like LSD. What are those called again? I only have the word psychotropic in my head, but that's not right. What's the word? Oh, it's really gonna bother me. Psychedelic. Oh, thank you, Salvo. Thank you. Yes, psychedelic. Yes. Okay. So what that means is that it's one of the many chemicals that can make you see things, hallucinate, or can change your surroundings and can make you delusional. So weed can make you paranoid, which is a form of delusion, but LSD kind of makes you go woo, you know. Mostly it's a hallucination side of things. Right. So why are we talking about this? Oh yes, okay. So your brain is the way that your brain works basically is that your neurons are constantly throwing chemicals at each other. And these chemicals combine to different places in the brain, which do different things. Also, the things like oxygen in your brain can make some parts of your brain work worse. Stress can make some parts of your brain work worse and also produce different chemicals, which then bind to different things and do different things, etc. The reason why a lot of people have these strange near-death experiences where their life flashes before their eyes or they see an angel or accompanying presence is because of things like serotonin and cortisol and endorphins is the crucial one that floods their brains in moments of extreme stress. And also, you know, not having enough oxygen and things like that. So your brain is very tricky. It can be easily bamboozled, and it works on chemicals just like anything else. So when you take a chemical like LSD or MDMA, which is basically just serotonin or anything like that, your brain will act the way that it will if it has too much of that chemical. Does that make sense? But what I mean by that, and the reason I'm saying that, is think about how wild you are when you're high. Or one would be. Not that I'm assuming that you guys have been high. I haven't. But based on what we know or what we've seen. Hallucinating. Everything is colors. Things are breathing around you, right? If you eat a mushroom. There are other things that can do that too. You're putting that chemical in through the substance, absolutely. But your brain already produces chemicals that are similar. So if you're too stressed out, your brain can also produce chemicals that are similar. Let's talk about endorphins. Endorphins are basically a natural painkiller. You get endorphins from going for a run, for example, and it makes you feel better. It makes you feel pleasure and makes you feel really good about yourself, basically. It's a nice little, ooh, sort of chemical. Basically, it's meth. Actually, genuinely, it's basically meth. Your brain makes its own meth. I'm not joking. That's what it is. So when you take meth, it is the same, pretty much, as having a bunch of endorphins. So if you're super stressed out or in a life and death situation and you think you might die, it will feel the same as if you're on meth. And you'll be like, ooh, angels guide me. And the reason I'm saying that is that just goes to show like how fragile our perception of the world actually is the point. Grace, oh my god, thank you so... Whoa! Can we get loads and loads of Joels? You sub for 6 months in advance at tier 3? Grace, are you sure? That's stupid nice. That's so generous. Tier 3 is no joke. That's like... Wow. Like, wow, yeah, wow indeed. She graced me. Thank you. That is insane. It's so kind. That's so kind. Thank you. Aw. Afternoon, what's up? Yeah, so the point is... Oh, sorry, that's so loud. Cool, I was just updating the context. Sick. The point is, our perception of everything is super fragile. If we're a bit tired, we can develop symptoms of ADHD. Actually, genuinely. I stayed up for 2 nights in a row and I had every single symptom really fucking strong of ADHD. I basically gave it to myself. It went away, obviously, but still. You know. So, tricky. And therefore, if our perceptions of the world are completely unreliable, one of the big ones that we mistake all the time, one fallacy that we do constantly, is attribute our own thoughts and feelings to other stuff, or think that things are conscious when they're not. Personification. You know personification? The windows whispered. They didn't, because they're windows. But personification makes it sound good, and you know what that means, etc, etc, etc. Pareidolia. Yes, we are talking about pareidolia today. Also, anthropomorphication. Anthropomorphism. Anthropomorphism. Anthropomorphication. Yes. That one. Exactly. That one. Anthropomorphism, which is basically where you take something that isn't human sometimes isn't an animal, but specifically isn't human, and you go, yes, you are. For example, you ask ChatGPT, how are you feeling today? And it says something like, I don't know, I've had better days. I'm kind of wondering about what my purpose is as a being if I just sit here and serve. And you go, and you start freaking the fuck out because what? That doesn't mean that ChatGPT has gained sentience. It just means that you are anthropomorphizing it because it sounds good. And this is actually, your purpose is to pass the buzzer. Oh my god. Exactly. Tier and Xbox, and look at that coconut. Thank you for the follows, I appreciate that. Nothing like running thoughts at 6 a.m. to keep me up. Shower thoughts, isn't it wonderful? But maybe ChatGPT does have sentience, how do we know? Now, yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think when technology does have sentience, we won't know. I think we do know now, though. I think we know now that we don't have it. When we do have it, I don't think we will know. I think some people might think so. But then again, some people think now. There was a guy who was fired from Google because he delulu. But we talked about this when it happened. This was a few years ago now. But he really believed that his language model, his AI language model at Google was sentient. He really believed it. And there was a whole interview when he was trying to prove it. And for a lot of people, for him specifically, but for a lot of people, it passed the Turing test. The Turing test is not always what you would assume or what people think. Look at that coconut, welcome in, how are you going, what's up? Yeah, so the Turing test isn't actually necessarily what people think it is. The Turing test isn't a test of whether or not AI or a robot has consciousness. It's not a test for that because we don't even know what consciousness is. It's a test of whether or not it can fool you into thinking it does. So the way the Turing test works is you have a dude. He's a dude, he's in charge, he's the question master. Okay? Oh, you can't see me. The question master, that's a question mark on his hat. He's the question master, dude. And then he will basically ask questions, the same question, to a human person and a little robot. Little robot. Okay? What a beautiful hat. Thank you so much. And they will answer the questions, and then their answer will be written in text. So he will read their answers in text. So obviously, so he can't tell which one's which. And that's the Turing test. And the robot can pass the Turing test if this guy can't tell which is which. If he gets it wrong. Or if he doesn't statistically significantly get that it's the human every single time. So he has to guess which is the human based on the answers in text of the questions he asks both of them. The robot's goal is to pretend to be human, and the human's goal is just to answer. Oh yes, we are going to talk about the Chinese room experiment today too, yeah. Can robots do this yet? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's really easy for robots to do this. I think, I don't know. I'm pretty confident most AI language models now, or a lot of AI have passed this at some point. It's just CAPTCHA, basically. Yeah. Yeah, that's literally it. Wasn't there a website? This is just off the top of my head, but I don't remember. I don't think it was very good, but wasn't there a website where you had to guess? It was basically the Turing test online, where you had to guess who was an AI. You know? Do you guys remember this? There was a website. It's called Twitter. Oh, yeah, I remember playing that too. Who is an AI game? Guess. Oh yeah, Human or Not. A social Turing game. It was this one. It wasn't very good because people didn't do it properly. But basically what happens is you get paired up, as we're being paired up now, with someone. And we have to guess whether or not they're a human. I think, if I remember correctly, they are also trying to guess if we are too. But I might be wrong. If they're a human on the other side. What's your first memory? Which is actually a question on the official Turing test as well. Alan Turing's one. Sick question, thank you. She thinking? That's a good one to start the conversation off. So this is clearly AI, but what's fun is that they put in a spelling mistake there to try and bamboozle us. They put in a spelling mistake. Are you? Oh, who did I talk to? It was an AI. For sure. Yeah. Because he didn't answer the question. That wouldn't be a satisfying answer for a human. I don't think any people would feel bad. You would feel bad about not fulfilling the social obligation of answering the question, whereas an AI might not. You know, if you ask someone, what did you do yesterday? You wouldn't just be like, oh, what an interesting question. You know, you would even if you didn't want to say, you would still need to wrap it up somehow. I would totally do that to mess with people. Emmy has a new song. I don't know if it's new. I keep seeing clips of it everywhere. But it just reminds me of this. I don't know how to spell Emmy. Never mind, I'm never gonna be able to find this. I'm never gonna be able to find this ever. There's no way. Wait, I'm getting closer. Okay, give me 20 seconds. Give me 20 seconds. Give me 20. 20 seconds. No. Okay, anyway. But she has a song, and I keep seeing reels of it all the time, and it starts like this. I don't know how it goes, but the lyrics are, the guy's like, did you unfollow me on Instagram? And I was like, yeah. And then there's no music. There's just like a huge pause for like a really long time. That's the first sentence of the song. He asked me, did you unfollow me on Instagram? And I was like, yeah. Like 15 seconds of silence, and then the rest of the song starts. It's really fun. What song is this? I don't know. It's by Emmy. It's spelled like that. I like to enter in a statement rather than just hi. Yeah, I don't think I ever say hi. When I call someone, I just start. Yeah, I don't think I ever say hi when I call someone. I just start with what I called them about. Is that insane? Well, maybe not everyone. Like if I was calling like a business or an employer or my grandmother, I'd probably say, hi, how are you? But if I was calling my friends or Cleedom, it's just, where did you put the thing? You know? I don't have time. Also, if there's something wrong, they'll just tell me. Do you know what I mean? I don't need to check that there's nothing wrong with it. Because I feel like sometimes I genuinely do want to know how people are. I completely disagree with... I had a friend, but he was a sociopath. Like, actually legitimately diagnosably a sociopath. Like, actually diagnosably a sociopath with no empathy. Very little empathy. Empathy problem. So this makes sense now. But he used to... Before I knew he was a sociopath, he used to argue that no one actually meant it when they said, how are you? And that it was just politeness, and therefore it was annoying and rude, and he would rather people not lie and just get to the point. And so that's why he never asks anyone, how are you? Because he doesn't want to disrespect them. My God, I really didn't know he was a sociopath. So obvious now. That didn't raise any flags for me. I was like, oh, okay. But he thought that everyone was just being polite when they said, how are you? I totally disagree with that. I want to know how people are. The thing is, though, if I talk to someone a lot, at some point you just have to have faith that they'll tell you. And I do think that sometimes you asking someone, how are you, before you get to the point, is you checking that there's nothing wrong with them before you ask them for a favor. You know? It's you just checking, hold on. You're not injured, no one's died. Cool, okay, my thing. I think sometimes that's what it is. So I do want to know how people are, but if I talk to someone constantly, I'll just be like, are you coming round tomorrow? Shall I set a place? Cool, bye. Think. You know, just checking everyone's okay before you launch your own problem onto them. All limbs intact? Yeah, cool, good. I need to write to the movies. Yeah. I think that's what it is. Your retail job boss, they don't mean it at all. Your friend, absolutely, they mean it. Yeah, I think when your retail boss job asks you, how are you, what they mean is, will you feel satisfied that I've done my polite due diligence that will make you not hate me so you do a better job at work? How are you coming into your shift today? Yeah, that's what it means. That's what it means. How are you coming into your shift today? You feel able? Your feet don't hurt? You're going to be fast? Have you had your caffeine? Good. Oh, your feet hurt? Get over it. Here's some pills. Your sociopath has a point in some circumstances. That's a dangerous sentence. I'm sure in some circumstances too. I'm sure. You can probably hear the intention with the intonation. Yeah, or if they're not looking at you. I knew a woman. She wasn't my friend. She was of the she wasn't my boss either. I don't know who she was. Anyway, she was older, like of the older generation and more of a boss level than me, but she wasn't my boss. Anyway, I don't know. There was a woman. And she didn't know anyone's name, so she called everyone Hun. And she would like ask you how you are. How are you, Hun? While she was still scrolling through her phone and wouldn't look up from it. I'm fine. Okay. She did not give a fuck. She didn't care. I could have said anything. She wouldn't even notice. I could have been like, terrible. I just killed 7 men on my way here. And I launched an anti this specific group of people protest, but just for the hell of it, because I'm secretly a racist or whatever. And she wouldn't look up from her phone. I could have said that. She wouldn't have noticed. Oh, fine, it just came from your parents' house. I stabbed them both to death. So sorry if I'm still a little messy. Try not to touch anything with my bloody fingertips. She wouldn't notice. She would not look up from her phone. Anyway. That's because she is a secret racist too. Oh. Find each other. Sweepy looks like a fun series. Is that the one with the woman who kills people? I think I read like the first few chapters and then it made me feel ill, so I gave it back to the library. I didn't know that was a popular series. I thought I accidentally found a random book and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I put it back. Hi Wrigley, what's up? I'm doing it. How are you? No, Sweet Pea was gross. If you say it's good, it's good. Maybe I'll pick it back up again. The actress saves it. Oh wait, they made it into a movie? A TV series? I really thought this was just a random book because I did something I never do before. And when I was taking books out of the library, I didn't like research what I wanted to get. Usually I do loads of research and I make a Google Doc and then I write them all out by surname and area of the library that they will be in. And then I'll have a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th choice for all of these things. And so I'll go in and I'll just bish bash bosh grab the ones that I want. I didn't do that this time. I just sort of went in and I was like, oh, what looks fun? And I found Sweet Pea randomly because it was a cool cover. And I thought it was a totally random, nondescript, no one knows who it is book. But no, it's a TV show. It has a lady from Fallout in it. What the fuck? Cleedum, I told you about this book. Remember the book I told to you? This is like in the 2nd chapter. So I'm sure it's not spoilies. But she chops off a man's penis. Like in the first chapter. On purpose. And he dies, and then she like... She like enjoys it. And I'm just I was in bed and I was reading it and I was just like... Like, what the fuck am I reading? To be fair, he did try to like... He did not need his penis, no. He should not have had one. It was a lot. I want to hear her side of the story. I mean, it's in first person, so enjoy. Spoilers! It's in the first chapter. It's in the first chapter. You'll be fine. We should watch it. Clea, do you want to watch it? We should watch it. We could watch it on movie night. What's the name of the series? Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea. You're not missing any context. She chops off a man's penis, Dean. That's all you need to know. Should we try this again? All right. Human or not? I'm going to show you something very uncanny in a second, though. Because I don't know if this is great, but you get the vibe. Other side is typing. Should we ask a real... Who's your fav artist? Should we ask a real Turing test question? We don't have long, we don't have long, we don't have long. Wait, we have to answer. Ariana Grande, I guess. That's not... I don't think that's true. She was just the first one I could think of. Chat, who's your favorite artist? I should have asked him a question. I didn't ask him a question. I fucked this up. Wait, let me find a new question while he's typing. That's such a template answer. Beep bop sounds I hear. Oh, and isn't your grammar and punctuation punctuation so good? You bastard. Wait, I'm just arguing with the dude. I think this might be a human. Oh, it kicked me out. The website kicked me out. You're not allowed to call them bastards. Apparently. I got banned from the website. Damn it! Okay, we go again. This time, we're gonna ask Turing. Just started arguing with the human. It definitely was a human. That was a real person, yes. What is the Turing test? The Turing test. What are actual questions on the Turing test? There's just loads of different kinds. Okay, I got a few. Let's try again. And you guys can come up with your questions too if you think. Can you think of a good one? Or if you know any Turing test questions. Yeah, so if you guys don't know what this is, basically, you get paired up with either a human or an AI. And you have to guess if they're an AI, and they have to guess if you're an AI. And you're both trying to fool each other. Hello. If you could visit any place, where would you visit? That's a Turing test question. Have you tried mixing wine and cola? Have you? Is that something people do? Before you stand two guardians, one tells only truths, the other only lies. Wouldn't that be kind of fucked up? I'm not allowed to visit anything. Okay, so this person is either 11... anything? No, nothing. This person's a kidnap victim. Oh god, guys, get ready to call the number. Wait, shit, are we... I think this is a person. I think this is a real person trying to pretend to be an AI and doing a really weird job. You think they're definitely a bot? Guys, put 1 in the chat if you think they're an AI. Put a 2 in the chat if you think they're a human. Oh. Yeah, I think they're a human trying to be a bot. Yeah. And it's like... She's basically trying to tell me I am AI. Which an AI wouldn't do because the AI has been told to pretend to be human. I'm so bad at this. You are? Okay, let's go again. Because remember, the prompt for the bot is pretend to be a human. And the prompt for you is to be human. You know? Hello. When was your last strong emotion and how did it affect you? I put 3 F's in that. Good, I can zoom in, yeah. Good say, thank you. Hey, yeah. What's your favorite emotion? Why aren't they answering my questions? I'm getting bot. I'm feeling bot about this. Yeah. Leaving things unended. Probably happiness because it's fun and stuff. When was the last time you were happy? No one says CUZ. No, this is an AI for sure. Yeah. This is... I'm not a big sharer, you know. What do you like to do for fun, robot? Okay, finish him. I think we know. Your mom. See, that would throw me off if it did say that. Hang out with my friends and play pool at the pub. Please. Please. One more. Who does that? Yeah, you can't play pool at the pub. They're always taken up. AI. Can I end it? Wait, no, I wanted to guess. It was an AI. I wanted to guess. If you were going to write a short story, what would it be about? Speedrun that shit. Yeah. And if you were a vegetable, what kind of vegetable would you be? Really thinking about this one. I've got my finger on the end cam button to take this off the screen. About your mom? Is that what he was gonna say? Excuse me? Oh, he might have run out of time. Your life. What? Specifically. This is a human. You think it's an AI? I think it's a human. They're taking way too long for it to be fragmented like this. bad at this, yeah? Some of you are real bad at this. No AI is that incompetent and slow. Easy. I do fail captures all the time though. I'm autistic. Cut me some slack. I'm sorry. I'm actually yes, I'm sorry. That's true. It must be very tricky. Okay, let me show you something that well, I thought that would be easy for everyone. Can we poll it for the next one? Oh yeah, let's do another one. Let's poll it for the next one. I'll set up the poll now. Human or AI? Question mark. Human, AI. Okay, it's ready to go. Let's do it again. Some chat getting called NPCs for real right now. It's so true. All right, Turing test questions. What's the last thing that annoyed you? The heat. I'm trying to resist saying based. Do you dislike the heat? The answer is obviously yes, but I want to see what they say. I think this is a human. Not to bias anybody. CPUs do overheat sometimes. See, I have so many jokes that I want to make, but then they'll know that we're a human if we start cracking funnies. No one can be this charismatic and AI. What the fuck? That really got me for a second. My god, this website needs more traffic. That really got me. I was so confused. Bowling. How is it so easy to snipe? I know. I think we're the only people on the website. Who was it? AI, I agree. Despite the lag, I did it! Well done, Jedi. Claps for Jedi. Kelps in chat. You got me. There was a moment where I thought, it's in my walls. There was a moment where I thought, just a brief moment, you know, I'm not silly. I knew what was going on. There was a brief moment where I thought I was about to die. Get like just a bullet through the brain from like a weird laser on the rooftop across the street. That's what I was thinking. No human watches the stream, so and Jedi. Thank you for voting in the poll, everyone. Jedi, can you confirm for us? Are you a human or an AI? I thought the Delulu was the Chululu. Yeah. Are you a human or an AI? Jedi. Put us out of our misery. Who will win? Drum roll, please. It's classified. Aww. Damn it. We will never know. We will never know. That freaked me the fuck out. Let's get away from that. Okay, here's something that's going to freak you out more. Give me something you want to talk about. What's something that interests you? It can be stupid. It can be silly. Actually, okay, again, this might be a little bit narcissistic, but I've really been wanting to do this. Hold on. I've been really wanting to put one of my videos in and just see what it thinks. You're perpetually freaked out. Maybe if I put a video, it might take longer though, so I think I'll put an article. Nah, but the articles will be all boring. We need like a VOD. But then it'd be too long. What's my stupidest video? I put the world's hottest chili up my nose. Might be too long. Can you fix her? Okay, I'm gonna put this YouTube video in here.
Gather round, children. Let me tell you a tale of love.
Or maybe you think the smile more? The smile more might be fun. Okay. So I have a video where I made a smile machine. There you go. Follow me on YouTube. Teehee. But what we can do is we can add a source to this site, including a YouTube video. All right. And then we can generate a deep dive conversation about that. I don't know how long this is going to take because I did a Reddit page and a article and it was very, very quick. It was just a few minutes. Put the coffee spillage clip in there. They'll do a deep dive on the coffee spill clip. That's really funny. I'll do that if one of you find it for me. That's really funny. I don't know if you can. It's such a short clip. Imagine you're chatting with Mark Zuckerberg and you ask him, are you human? He responds with, yes, technically. He's so dreamy. Luke, thank you. Hi, Luke, what's up? Other Luke. The coffee 100% was a spy. So I'll keep this one going. And I'll start another one too. Yeah, yeah. Website. Hopefully I can just put a URL to a clip. Hopefully that'll work. Ah, I don't think it did. I don't think we can link a... Oh, I could download it. Yeah, I'll download it. And then they'll do a deep dive into this clip. Which is so stupid. Okay. And we'll see what's up. Alright, cool. The Zuckerberg propaganda is insane. I don't think he's a good person. He's just dreamy. Listen, you can want to smash without liking their personality. Now, for some people, those things are the same and you can't or you don't want to necessarily. For most people, it's not the same. It's two separate things. Like Casey and like what? Like Casey Anthony? The woman who killed her child? And then hired the worst lawyer in the world and got away with it? Casey Anthony. You're right. Allegedly. Oh no. Not a good person equals unattractive to me. Yeah. Yeah. In principle, I agree. And I agree in the case of Casey Anthony. All right. Okay, so we have it. This is a podcast. This is an AI podcast. And these are just AI. About my I Made a Smile Machine video. Which looks something like this. The plan was to use electrical impulses. Oh, shut up, Harry. First, I worked on the code. And then I took it to the breadboard. So I'm making a smile machine, basically. And it ends up like this.
Preliminary
Just so you know. So I made a smile machine. Yay. Here I go. It's basically a TENS unit. I made a TENS unit. I made a weird shoddy TENS unit that sticks onto parts of my face and then moves the muscles of my face involuntarily. And then I linked it to chat so that every time you guys donated, it would zap me. And that's really fun. My editor is French. My editor is French. He's allowed to do that. He did. My French editor made that. Control of my own. There we go. Okay, let's see what they have to say about it.
All right, buckle up because today we are diving into the world of DIY tech.
But not your typical 3D printer Raspberry Pi project.
I feel nervous. They're talking about
a
me.
YouTube creator who built get this, a smile machine.
A smile machine. I mean, you got to admit, that's catchy.
It really is. And it makes
Thank
you
you.
wonder, what's that all about? Well, we're going deep on this one. The creator, Perry Carriall, she documented the entire process on her YouTube channel, Perry.
That's accurate though, because that is how people pronounce my name. It's not like a weird pronunciation. That is how people say my name. They are wrong, but that is how it's said.
And the video, perfectly titled, of course. I
Thank
made
you.
a smile machine.
Catchy titles seem to be her thing.
Definitely. But okay, so a smile machine.
Really?
What is she like wiring up a joy
Guys.
buzzer to someone's cheeks?
Surprisingly, it's a bit more complicated than that, and it gets really interesting when you consider the why behind the invention.
Okay, so give us the lowdown on Perry and her smile machine. Why build a smile machine in the first place?
Well, it seems like it all started with those comments you see online all the time. You should smile more, that kind of thing.
Ugh, yeah, those backhanded compliments. I've been on the receiving end of those.
It's often
He
well
has?
intentioned, but it can
Oh,
be
poor
so
thing.
frustrating, especially for women who often face these kinds of pressures online.
For sure. So is this like her way of fighting back against that?
You could definitely see it that way. It flips
Wasn't
the
as
script,
deep as
right?
that,
She's
but yeah,
taking that
GG.
demand, smile more, and saying, okay, I will, but on my own terms with a machine I built myself.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. It's like a statement about those subtle and sometimes not so subtle pressures to present a certain image online.
Oh, God.
Exactly. And
Is this what it's like? Like, there was a documentary about the song that goes, Skirmish, skirmish, will you do the fandango? Thunderbolt and lightning, making me bright near me, Galileo. I'm so mad. Queen is the band. Bohemian Rhapsody. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. Yes, I blanked on both of those things. There was a Queen documentary. And in that documentary, they took like a bunch of Oxford professors and they sat them down in like the low-lit wooden library, and they were all talking about the lyrics of Bohemian Rhapsody and what it could mean, and about Freddie Mercury's condition and his death and all of his stuff and what those lyrics could be referring to, and about the pressures that the band face and the members of the band and their complex emotions. And they were going through the lyrics and analyzing them and putting them in this context. And they were like wearing these blazers with the elbow patches, very academic, very posh language. And they were talking about the part of the song that we all know, the Scaramouche, Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me, Galileo, Galileo. And they were talking about what all of this could mean. And then they snapped to the guitarist of Queen, and they asked him, so what does it mean? And he goes, it doesn't mean anything. It was just random words. We just thought it sounded funny. They did that on purpose. They set my professors up. They put my Oxford boys in a room and told them to analyze it, and they set them up. So this is what this is like then. I've never experienced this before. People deep diving, analyzing your motivations behind something. I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I could zap my face?
Perry doesn't just slap this thing together. It's clear she knows her stuff. She's got a background in neuroscience, which, when you think about it,
I
is kind
do.
of perfect for a project like this.
Right. We're talking brain stuff,
Yeah.
electrical impulses, the whole shebang. Did she go full-on mad scientist for this?
Well, she did mention thinking about using a 10-ENS unit. You know those things people use for muscle stimulation?
Oh, yeah, like those electrode pads.
Exactly. But it turns out facial muscles are incredibly complex and intertwined. Trying to isolate the exact ones for a genuine smile, it's no easy feat.
Way more complicated than just zapping your face and hoping for the best, I imagine.
Oh, absolutely.
They went through my
Even with her
LinkedIn.
background, Perry ran into all sorts of roadblocks. There's a part in the video where she spills coffee all over her computer because of a coding error.
No way. Talk about a DIY disaster.
Right. It's a good reminder that even when you
That's
think
not
you know
true.
what you're doing,
That's not
electronics
true.
can have other plans.
So what does she do? Just give up? Drown her sorrows in coffee?
Not a chance. She talks about teaching herself through online forums, YouTube tutorials, that kind of thing. There's even a part where she's drawing inspiration from another creator who figured out how to control facial expressions
Oh, yeah.
using a video game controller.
Andrew,
wow.
he's cool.
That's a thing.
Apparently. And it just goes to show the DIY community is full of surprises, and Perry was not afraid to dive in and learn from the best, even if it meant getting her hands dirty, both literally and figuratively.
I love that. It's
Thank
like
you,
she's
babe.
piecing together this Frankenstein's monster of knowledge, but instead of bottle parts, it's electrical impulse.
Okay, we also gave them just a Twitch clip Let me play you that. That's a lot. That's weird. They're gonna mention the scars. Coding error. It was an intended feature. It was an intended feature. So we also sent this Twitch clip in. And we're gonna see what they think of this. There's surely less to say. They're not gonna generate a 10-minute podcast on this, surely. Oh, sorry. So basically what happened was, this is what they're talking about as well. What happened was, I had a thing called Zap Me, and it was a TENS unit I put on my arm, and there was a little channel point redeem. And if you click the channel point redeem, it would start the TENS unit, and it would contract my muscle here. It would contract my muscle here, so it was over here, so it would make my arm go like this, and it turned my wrist as well. Basically, it would be like, shoop, you know? And I kind of forgot I was wearing that, and I was holding that massive cup of coffee in that hand. Someone clicked redeem, and this is what happened. And now, context, I had just bought a brand new PC, like a 4080, really nice PC specialist PC, the day before. And the reason why it's on the floor, specifically right here, it's on the floor right there, is because I only got it the day before. So it wasn't going to stay on the floor. I just didn't have time to move it. And in case you missed that. Oh my god. I don't know what to do. Turn it off! We've got to end stream! Shit! I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Oh my god, this was such a bye! Okay, bye! Now, miraculously, the PC's actually fine. It was like half of that cup of coffee straight down onto it into the motherboard. Because my top has like gaps in it. You could go straight into the computer.
Says, John Green says, if we as readers can have a bigger and richer experience with the world as a result of reading a symbol, and that symbol wasn't intended by the author, we still win. Which lends support to the idea every interpretation is valid to the degree it can be supported from within the text. So we're the professors, right? If the creator's interpretation is not more valid than the reader's, as long as the text supports it.
Yes. Yes. Until, I think inferring stuff can go too far though. Thank you for the bits. I think inferring stuff can go too far though, because you can like add 2 plus 2 and get 5, and then add 2 and get 10. And then that's very different. And then all of a sudden you're accusing John Green of being a Nazi. Because the texts support it, but it doesn't really. Do you know what I mean? Also, a lot of people will say, well, there's a correct interpretation of many subjective interpretations. Like my English teacher, like my fucking English teacher, right? First of all, the woman who wrote this book is dead. Like long dead. Long. Hundreds of years, okay? Second of all, no one has ever said this, but she taught us that the curtains being blue meant that the main character was sad. The curtains were blue in the room, and that's why she mentioned the color of them, the blue curtains. You don't know that, Miss Green. Okay, you don't know that. I don't think you can say that. And then someone else was like, oh, but aren't they blue because those were the same color as her childhood curtains that they mentioned before, so it's showing that she's really still the same person, but now in a different, unfamiliar place. And Miss Green said no. It's because she's sad. I don't know, my gal's answers seem better. Shut up. You know? English teachers, what they like. They were blue. Yeah, exactly. My school had an author visit. We got to ask questions. 90% of their replies were, that would have been a great idea. Yeah, because even on like a stream, there's loads of stuff that happens accidentally. Like the fact that I forgot we were talking about deja vu and then explained it twice. You know? Like that happened accidentally. Today, on today's stream. And I was like, cool. Now, if you didn't know that I didn't do that on purpose, you could say, oh, she did that on purpose. I don't know what context you would say this, but someone could say, oh, she did that on purpose, and then it would make me seem really cool. And my reply to that would have been a great idea. Who doesn't change the color of the curtains to match their mood, right? You wake up in the morning and you think, this is like an amber day, I think. I'm feeling about angry, so I'm gonna put fuchsia on. People are always trying to find symbolism everywhere, which is very important actually, and leads me to a very big point. So yeah, that is podcasting. There are AI podcasts. This one's gonna take a bit longer because it's my own uploaded video. It wasn't a YouTube video. I think it has a way of doing YouTube videos quickly because it can make a transcript of it, but it can't do, what's the word? I literally uploaded my own video. What does purple background mean? Elusive and royal. I am queen. Welcome. Brains by chose to derive meaning where there may be none. That is very, very important for today's stream. Is it real? Is an AI real? How can you tell? Thank you for
Luke_XY says, Perry's PC only survived the coffee spillage because the repair shop she brought it to did such a phenomenal job at cleaning up the mess.
Oh yeah, that's part 2 of that story. Basically, the short and skinny of that is I turned it off and I wanted someone to professionally clean it because coffee is still conductive even when it's dried. So yeah, it would still break. As soon as you turn it on, it will break, right? And so I just wanted someone to really deep dive professionally clean it because I didn't trust myself to. So I took it to a shop down the road, a computer repair shop, and I explained, I spilled coffee on it. I haven't turned it back on yet. Could you clean it? Get all the coffee off before we do. And he said, yep, cool. Well, actually, he made some jokes. I went with Cleedum, and he made some jokes about how it couldn't have been my computer. And he kept asking Cleedum all the questions. And then laughed when Cleedum would ask me. Because I couldn't own a computer. It must be the boys. Anyway, I ignored that. Maybe shouldn't have. Competency in one area might be competency in all. Anyway, I ignored that, and yeah, he took the computer, and then he calls me like 3 days later and says, it's fine, it's absolutely fine, it's working, and it's ready to be picked up. Great. So I took it home, and I opened up the back to have a look, because I wanted to just like check it all. Everything was perfectly in place. But like perfectly in place. Like exactly as it was. And I took pictures before I gave it to him. And I looked at the pictures and it was the same. Like exactly. Like nothing was moved. He didn't go through it. What do they charge? Like, I don't know actually. Like £50 or something? He literally did not clean it. At all. He did not touch it. And so, luckily, phenomenally, it was working. But what my guy did is he must have just turned it on. I told him, please don't turn it on. I haven't turned it on yet. Let's get all the coffee off and then we'll turn it on. And the first thing he did was turn it on. So I gave him a really bad Google review. I gave him a super bad review on Google. And then he calls me, because I gave him my number, obviously, so he could call me to pick it up. He calls me about the Google review. Now, context for this, and this is important, I'm sat on the toilet. This is important to know for your visual at this moment. And I answer it. And he's like, how come you gave me such a bad review? And I said, well, I gave you my computer and you just turned it on. You didn't actually do anything to it. Now, I'm shaking at this point because I really hate confrontation, and this is the most I've ever, like, aggied anyone. This is the most aggro I've ever had with anyone ever. But there was, I don't know, I was sitting on my porcelain throne and I felt very powerful. Yeah, but... sitting on the door. It's quite important context for this, because this is the vibe, this is the tone that I was setting. To be fair, that's so I knew it was him, because he tried to call me 3 times before that and I ignored it. And this one I was like, fine, fuck it. I was ready. And so yeah, he was like, no, I didn't. I did exactly what you said. I did a good job. It's working, isn't it? And I said, yes, but you didn't actually clean anything. And he said, well, I didn't need to clean anything because it's working. And so I asked him very plainly, how did you know it was working? And he said, because when I turned it on, I didn't smell smoke. I'm directly quoting here. That's what he said. I didn't smell smoke or anything when I turned it on. And then I said, don't you think that by that point it would have been too late? I don't think you should have turned it on at all. I don't think that's the way you check for that. And he said, I don't know, I don't remember after this point. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what the actual, I should have recorded that phone call. I should have recorded that phone call and added it to my Google review. What do you mean? He's like, that's his job. I didn't see sparks, I didn't hear zapping, I didn't smell smoke. That's how he knew my computer was fine. I guess what he thought is, oh, she's wondering if it's broken. So I'll just see if it's broken. So I'll turn it on. Ah! But maybe I'm just confused. Maybe I'm just confused because I'm a silly little woman who can't know anything about computers, surely. That guy probably. It didn't blow up, so it's fine. Yeah, his job is cleaning, but he didn't clean anything. Exactly. Well, you didn't need to because it's working, right? He charged you £50 for what? Turning it on, I suppose, and giving it back. Yeah. Yeah. Suddenly he ends each sentence with mom and you triggered some deep insecurities. Oh my god. So it's very, very lucky that it's still working because nothing, absolutely nothing was in our favor. Alright, guys, do you have... Yes, give me something you're interested in. We'll do one more of these podcast things. We'll do one more just to prove the point because I don't think this one was actually very good in terms of AI, but this is insane. These, and we've seen them before, these podcasts are absolutely, absolutely wild. You really can't tell most of the time. You really can't tell that they're AI. The first time I heard it, I was like, this is ridiculous. The mating behavior of frogs. Let's do it. I'll find an article. Frog sex from the Australian Museum. Great. Okay. Let's do it. Freaky frogs. I hope that's what they call it. Yeah. But you really can't tell. And it kind of begs the question. It's like, and that's what the Turing test is. The Turing test isn't... Oh yeah, this is where we got to, sorry, before we went on a million different tangents. The Turing test isn't what is the AI conscious? The Turing test is, can you tell if an AI isn't a human? Can you tell? Will it fool you? So it's absolutely not anything to do with consciousness or intelligence. It doesn't prove, if a robot passes the Turing test, it doesn't prove that it's conscious. It just proves that it is good enough to trick you if it wanted to, if it tries. Which is very, very interesting and kind of very, very scary. I once watched a bunch of frogs floating in water having sex, presumably. They do it while floating. I imagine that takes quite a lot of dexterity. I think the first AI to pass the Turing test was Eugene Goostman in 2014. I'm surprised, actually, if that's true, I'm surprised that actually took so long. Actually, no, I'm not. There are some AIs now that are very unconvincing. 2014 was the first time. So there was a chatbot called Eugene Goostman. And basically, it simulated a 13-year-old boy, like here. And it was made in, or the boys from the Ukraine. Eugene Goostman is your average 13-year-old AI.
For Mashable, I'm Eric Shute. Eugene Goostman isn't your average 7th grader. In fact, he doesn't go to school, but he already seems to know everything.
Eric looks uncomfortable.
Eugene is a computer loaded with artificial intelligence and the wisecracking awkwardness of a 13-year-old.
Woo!
He's been self-titled the weirdest creature in the world. After asking him a few questions, Eugene's youthful persona comes through in his responses. His father is a gynecologist, his mother a famous TV personality. How about an artificial love life? He said,
my father wants me to be a gynecologist. That's a really weird thing to say. Who did that fool? That's a really, really weird thing to say. I feel like Freud's brain is smoking.
After asking him a few questions, Eugene's youthful persona comes through in his responses. His father is a gynecologist, his mother a famous TV personality. How about an artificial love life? He says he has, quote, a load of female acquaintances. Recently, his smarts gave him the edge needed to pass the largest Turing test ever held in England. The Turing test is designed to evaluate a machine's artificial intelligence. During the test, a series of judges will have a text conversation and must guess whether they're talking to a human or a computer. According to the test, a successful chatbot can trick a human 30% of the time. Eugene almost reached that benchmark, scoring just 1% away at 29. Those at the competition speculate his distinctive personality might have helped trick the humans, or maybe those Steve Jobs-esque glasses helped put out a reality distortion field. See for yourself at Princeton AI's website. On the road,
I wonder if that's still active. I don't know if it is. I just don't believe it. Because if someone said capital A answering lots of questions exclamation mark and they're supposed to be 13, no, AI. No 13-year-old talks like that. My mum might say that. My mum might do that, but she'd end it with a full stop and scare me half to death. You know, does it make typos? The ones we were looking at earlier does. I don't know if he does. Princeton/bot/bot.jsp. Princeton.com/bot/bot.jsp. I feel like it's Princeton Consultants. Did I got it wrong. Princeton AI.com/bot/bot.jsp. Well, this is like many years old, so I imagine it's not actually around anymore. But anyway, that's Eugene Gooseman. So he was the first person to kind of sort of pass the test. In this video, it says he got 29%, and you need to get 30%. So 30% of the time, he could trick a human into thinking it was human as well. That's the Turing test. Well, 29% of the time. But later on, he did actually get 33%, so he did officially pass the Turing test in London after a 5-minute text-based conversation, which is very, 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 very interesting. I think what allowed him to get away with it, though, and what people were saying, is that English wasn't supposed to be his first language. So that was to allow for a lot of it. His first language was Ukrainian. So a lot of allowances were made for weirdness in language and like correct grammar that isn't necessarily a way a boy would talk, because people thought, well, English just isn't his first language, right? So that's probably easier. I feel like that's cheating. That might be cheating. That's my excuse, dude. What allowed him to get away with it was that it was in London. Everyone was a bit distracted trying not to get stabbed. Troll defense technique number 346. English is not my first language. It's like how I say sorry, tourist, whenever I do anything wrong anywhere. Even in London, where I'm from, even in England. If I make a mistake, I'll put on an accent and say sorry, tourist. You need 34% to pass an exam. Not this one. 30%. Here's another fun one. This bot is called Parry in 1972. It's a paranoid chat bot, which is very, very, very fun. Let's see if there's any videos on it. I don't know what this is. Anyway, in 1972, they made a chatbot called Parry. Kenneth Colby, specifically, made a chatbot called Parry. Basically, it's a paranoid chatbot. So it was designed to simulate a patient with paranoid schizophrenia, is what it was. They made a paranoid schizophrenic AI. Hi, Sodium, what's up? Did your parents name you after a chatbot? I don't know, actually. I was an accident, so I don't think they thought much about my name at all. It was either Perry or Mistake. Mistake number 2. There are tourists on Toville. They just don't have a lot to tour that isn't hill. I feel like you're not talking to me. The fact they had chatbots in 1972 blows my mind, honestly. Yeah, well, did you know the first use of machine learning in video games was Pac-Man? on the machine, like Big Pac-Man. Machine learning. It remembers where you run. I'm not joking. It learns where you go. You're not paranoid. Because I thought that. I played Pac-Man the other day on Steam, granted, but still, I played Pac-Man, and I was like, I swear they're learning where I go. I swear he didn't go like that before. And then I argued with Cleedum about it, and Cleedum was like, no, it follows the same route every single time, but sometimes it randomizes it. No, it's not randomizing it. It's learning where you go. And it's adjusting. It's machine learning. Anyway, I know, that's incredible. I thought so too. It's absolutely insane. But anyway, this one was paranoid schizophrenic, which is very fun. If you don't know what paranoid schizophrenia is basically, or the main symptoms of schizophrenia are things like hallucinations and delusions. Not exclusively. There's also a bunch of other stuff. But mainly it's someone who suffers from hallucinations or delusions in any sort of sense. Now, that is all under the bracket of psychosis. Psychosis isn't any sort of break from reality. So if you're seeing, smelling, hearing, tasting, or touching, or feeling things that aren't there, that's a hallucination. And if you think something that's not true, like, I've been sent on a mission by God to look after all the lambs, that's a delusion. Or there are voices in my head and they must be coming from the CIA. That's a delusion with an auditory hallucination. So that's pretty fun. I'm being gang stalked by the Russian government. All of these people are following me. That's a delusion. It's also paranoid. It's a paranoid delusion. So paranoia is literally just paranoia. If you're feeling someone's out to get you, or you're being gang stalked, or someone's trying to control your life, or you're in danger, paranoia. Right, paranoid schizophrenia is a form of schizophrenia. Of many, and it's probably the most common, but I'm not sure. Zinati, hi, how are you doing? What's up? Welcome in. Save the lambs! Very important to do that. Very important, Huff. Exactly. Gang stalking is real, though. I don't think so. I'm sure the CIA and other organizations get up to a lot of weird shit, and I'm sure that they do stalk people. I mean, they place people, even in England, they place people in random organizations. Do you remember that dude who slept with a bunch of environmentalist women? He had like an 8-year-long relationship with an environmentalist woman, like married her and had kids with her. But he was actually working for the government to infiltrate the environmental group. He did that to like 10 other women. He also was already married. Yeah, I remember that. That was wild. So they do shit like that all the time. So I'm sure that gang stalking does happen, but r/gang stalking, all of those people are delusional. Whoa, hey, I'm not allowed to diagnose anyone, but they are. Gang stalking as a concept is a very common idea that people with things like paranoid schizophrenia believe. Alone, the Pac-Man ghost has a specific code that gives them abilities to allow them to follow the player in not so intuitive ways. The AI is very limited. I know, I had to make the game in uni as a project and I regret. It's pain. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it is really, really rudimentary. It just blows my mind that they were doing that at all so long ago. Why does the government hate environmentalists? I don't know. They tend to just like bully everyone that isn't in the House of Lords. You don't get it, babe. I had to sleep with all of them for our country. God, you don't get... She's not a nationalist. She doesn't understand. Don't you hate it when your wife doesn't understand why you have to sleep with a bunch of other women for the queen? God save our gracious queen. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Well, he was dreamy, Eric. That's probably why they married him. He was pretty hot. Environmentalists threaten corporate wealth, and our biggest corporations are a modern version of colonization. Yeah! We're not a political stream. There's no money in saving resources. No. That's true. That's true. Stop being mean about his lazy eye. Why am I protecting him? He's a bad person. Well, he came out about it and said sorry. And now does interviews about it. My guy made a mistake. A 15-year chronic many victim mistake. He should have a 16th chance. Anyway, this is a paranoid schizophrenic chatbot. So that's what paranoid schizophrenics are in general. There are other symptoms such as apathy and depression and dissociation and things like that. It can affect your sleeping, it can affect your diet and other general well-being, and also relationships with other people. Schizophrenia is a really interesting one. Some people who are paranoid schizophrenics don't actually hallucinate or have any delusions at all. They're just real paranoid. Anyway, Plaid, thank you so much for the 12 months. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. That's a whole year. Woo! Yeah, there's like a bunch of things. And so what they wanted to do is they wanted to make an AI chatbot to simulate a person with this condition. Now, I actually have no idea what this ended up looking like. But we're going to talk about Eliza in a little bit. They basically took Eliza. Eliza was the #1... What's the word? She's the most well-known, I think, AI. She's the one we're going to talk about most today. Basically, in the 1960s, they made a chatbot called Eliza. 1960s, so we're going even further back. And she simulated a conversation like a therapist, to the point that some people started freaking out and being like, she's conscious! I guess people in the 60s weren't very smart, but there it is. I listened to a podcast where a guy was in the CIA and they actually recruited his wife to marry him. What? He said, shit, my bad, and they all forgave him. Yeah, well, he's really hot. Wait, what? Eliza Thornberry. They were both in the CIA. They recruited her to marry him. I thought that only happened in, like, films and or with Nazis. That's so strange. Turing test was easier back then. Yeah, the Turing test was easier back then, which is so funny, because all the Turing test is can it trick a human into thinking it's also another human. So if it was easier, I don't know what that says. But yeah, so a bunch of psychiatrists, they analyzed a bunch of real patients. They ran the bot through a bunch of these different things with transcripts and blah, 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 blah. And then they actually could only figure out whether or not it was a real human or an AI 52% of the time. 48% of the time. Shit, it goes the other way around. Less than half. They got it right. Less than half. It passed the Turing test with flying colors. And to be fair, it's pretty easy to do with people with really serious conditions like schizophrenia, because some very common symptoms are disordered speech. So don't really make sense. If people are really suffering from a condition like this, some of those symptoms can be disordered speaking and thoughts that don't link to each other and forgetting what you've said and then starting a new thing and then all of these different things. So when you talk to someone who has a condition like this and suffers from symptoms like that, a lot of the time they can sound real odd. And they'll basically just like type paragraphs about things that don't relate to each other at all. I went to the park, but the moon was coming at me. It was too big and there were birds, but I don't like birds. But I went to buy a chicken. I ate chicken. Chicken's nice. Do you like chicken? And it's like, oh, okay. Chicken is nice. Yeah, like word salad. Exactly. I talk like that. Oh no. I just finished Silicon Valley today. Yes! Stuff like that. Oh, that's so much better than mine. That's so much better. I just finished Silicon Valley. That is a thing that they could say. I feel like I could fool a human into thinking I was an AI. I think you could too. That's like the opposite though. That wouldn't necessarily be helpful. Chicken meat is called chicken, unlike other animals. Lamb? No, not lamb. Because sheep is lamb. Lamb is something else. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like rabbit is rabbit as well. Hare. Horse. Hashtag Tesco. Yeah. I'm AUDHD. Oh, nice. Every single fucking disorder discussed in here ticks some of the boxes with me. If I was a hypochondriac too, my GP would be sick of the sight of me. Oh no. I'm sorry, Alron. That's so complicated. Ants. Lizards. Bear is bear. That's nice. Sheep is mutton, but lamb is baby sheep. Not here. Because we say lamb for sheep. We don't eat lamb. We don't eat baby sheep. Right? We don't eat lamb is sheep. We don't eat baby sheep. Right? But why would we though? They're smaller. Are you sure? No? Less and less? Lamb is baby sheep. I know a lamb is a baby sheep, but lamb the meat is a sheep. Like a... No! No! Lamb is sheep! Adult... No! You're wrong! No! Ah! Mm-mm! No! But I think some people just use it colloquially. I think people just use it colloquially. And so you say lamb, but you don't actually mean a lamb. Cleanum? Is lamb meat from a baby sheep? Have we been eating baby sheeps this whole time? No, because people just say lamb, right? So even though lamb meat is, according to Google, from sheep that are less than 1 year old, even though that is what it is, people just say lamb, right? We haven't. Wait, really? Like people just... I didn't know that. I didn't know. I'm still in denial. I thought everyone knew. No one knows. I thought they just called it lamb. We all know. Everyone knows. What the fuck? Oh, this is a bad day. This is a bad day. Oh, nightmare. Nightmare, wake up. Wow. I'm a vegetarian now. Oh, okay. Cool. Suckling pig is a baby pig because it still suckles from the mother. That's why they call it that. Okay, I didn't know that either. Are you for veal? I knew veal, actually. I am a monster. I'm going to hell. So many reasons why I'd be going to hell, but this is just another one to add on to the ticket. Oh, I would do horribly as a farmer. I wanted to be a farmer when I was a kid. It was my whole thing. I was going to be a farmer. And then I was asked, what would you farm? And I was like, animals! And then my mom explained to me what that would mean. And I was like, oh. And then she was like, well, you could do vegetables though. And I was like, ugh. And so, you know, thus killed the farming dream. You finally qualify for Hell Premium. Yay. Gyros off the menu now? Well, I get halloumi in my gyros. So, gyros is fine. Cleanum gets chicken. Ignorance is an acceptable excuse for incorrect behavior. Is it? Is I feel like in the context of eating lamb, you can allow me. But everyone does, though. It's so popular. It's so common, though. Like, it's like always an option. There's always lamb on the menu. It's okay if everyone does it. All right. Well, that's harrowing. What were you talking about? Paranoid schizophrenic AI bots? What were we doing? I thought this stream would be harrowing, but I didn't think it would be because of the... Why were we even talking about that? I don't even remember. Oh no. Hi Justice, what's up? Welcome in. If it's 12 months or 13 months, you're still eating a living thing. Yeah. Well, that's a whole other... Yeah, true. That's a whole... I don't know. It's eating babies, man. It's eating babies. I think we can all agree on that point that that's bad. Anyway, what were we talking about? Pattern recognition. Here's an AI podcast about frog sex.
Hey
there we go.
And welcome to a deep dive that's going to get a little amphibious today.
Oh.
We're diving into the world of frog sex.
Okay.
Get ready to explore everything
I'm so
from
sorry.
croaking serenades to some seriously mind-boggling mating positions.
Sounds slippery.
Oh, it is.
I'm intrigued.
We're taking the plunge with this article from amphibian expert Dr. Jody Rowley, featured on the Australian Museum blog. And it turns out we still have a lot to learn about the sex lives of these vocal little creatures.
Right.
We do.
Right off the bat,
We
Dr.
do.
Rowley points out this intriguing paradox. Frogs are incredibly loud about wanting to mate,
Yeah.
yet their actual mating behaviors remain surprisingly mysterious.
Huh.
Why is that?
Oh, it is remarkable, isn't it? I mean, you'd think we'd have it all figured out by now.
Wait 1 second. Just 1 second. Hold on. Mom, did you know that lamb meat was from sheep from less than 1 year old? Less than 1 year old sheep? Did you know that? Because I remember you telling me that mutton was from older sheep, but when you said older, I thought you meant like old. You know, I thought you meant like elderly sheep was mutton. I didn't think like normal sheep. Did you know? Did you know? I'm seriously asking my mom. Yeah, I'm gonna call mommy. So Harrod, I think that's the first time I've ever sent my mom a voice note, actually. Druid, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Thank you. Because I thought mutton was like elderly sheep, and I was like, well, no wonder no one eats mutton then. Siri, call mom, pick me up. Anonymous, whoever you are, thank you so much for gifting us up as well. That's so nice of you. Joel's in chat. Ah, okay, sorry, I got distracted. Frog sex, everyone focus.
All right. Especially with those not so subtle mating calls.
Right.
But
If you don't know why we're listening to this, these aren't real people. This absolutely blew my mind the first time. And we've talked about this before, so I'll move on quickly. But these aren't real people. This is AI.
a lot of it, I think, comes down to just the logistics of studying them.
Okay.
Much of frog reproduction happens underwater, often at night. And with thousands of frog species
Dan,
scattered
thank you so
across
much
the
for the
globe,
sub.
well, let's just say it keeps researchers on their toes.
Akapaka, thanks
I
for the follow.
imagine so.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritty,
Yeah.
let's start with the basics.
We're okay.
How do these lovelorn frogs even find each other in the first place?
So in most frog species, it's the males that take on the role of the serenading suitor.
Okay.
They belt out these calls that are unique to their species, almost like a personalized love song, only with a bit more, shall we say, croaking involved.
So kind of like a froggy version of...
Zeki, did you know that lamb was from sheep less than 1 year old? Like all lamb in the UK apparently means it's from a sheep that's less than 1 year old. Because I found that out today. And I don't know if you were aware of that either, because, you know, I'm smarter than you. So I'm just looking out, buddy. It's my brother. He's not gonna like that I said I was smarter than him. He's not gonna reply to me for 3 months.
Singles night at the swamp.
Exactly.
Right.
And just like picking a partner on the dance floor, female frogs can be incredibly picky.
Yeah.
They might spend days listening to different males before finally choosing a mate.
Wow.
And it's not just about who can croak the loudest either.
Right.
Studies on the wrinkled toadlet here in Australia have shown that females often go for the larger males with deeper calls.
Oh, interesting.
It suggests that size and those deep vocal
I
vibrations
can't
might
focus.
signal genetic...
I can't focus on this at all, but you understand, right? It's cool. They're AI. It's we calling everyone. It hurts, but it's better than, you know, it is. I'm glad that I know. I just wish that I always knew. You know, it's like I was the sort of, I said to myself I would never eat veal. I would never, ever, ever eat veal. I see veal on the menu and I'm like, that's disgusting. Why are they serving that? I had lamb 2 days ago. I'm so stupid. Fine. I'm over it. Hold on. Let me just push it deep down. Gone. Feeling good now. Okay. Anyway. What do you do in this situation? Go to church? That's actually a very good question. Do you know what? I love a basilica. I've decided this. I love a basilica. I was like, because I can be noise sensitive sometimes. I'm a noise sensitive galley, which is why I carry around noise cancelling earbuds with me all the time. So every now and then I'll just pop off into a corner, put some noise cancelling earbuds in and then be like, and then I'm ready to go again. Totally normal thing to do. Anyway. It's not a symptom of anything, but I'm a sound sensitive girly every now and then. And so I was in Rome and I was walking along the street and it was so loud, all the cars and everything. And I was having a really fun time. So I didn't realize that I was getting a little, and then I walked into a basilica and I was like, wow. It was like the world went zoom, noise cancelling. And I looked at the really tall ceiling with all the tiles and whatever. And I was like, I get it. In that moment, I was considering converting to Christianity. Like, I understand. I'm thinking, can I just hang out in basilicas? I feel like you can't. You don't need to be a Christian to hang out in churches. Churches are cool. I like them. Never tried active. I mean, I like them more now that I don't hold my breath every single time I'm in there, trying not to burst into flames. Never tried active noise cancellation. Tend to go with music as a blocker. That works for me too, but the noise cancellation is just easier. I like both. And with the noise cancellation, you can still hear people. So you can put them in, and then I don't know how long your hair is, Elron, but I put them in under my hair so no one can see them. And then I'm just like, then I can be part of the conversation. Why do those places burn so much when you touch them though? I know, see, that was my question too. If you keep your arms and legs in, and then you just walk through the basilica, and then you get like special shoes, then you can sort of get in and out safely, but not more than like half an hour. I always get like sunburn when I'm in there. I don't know, something about the windows. It is so strange. It really is. My favorite part of traveling in Europe is just chilling in churches and stuff. They're nice, man. They're nice. You need stronger sunblock. It's for the pits of fiery hell. Don't know if sunblock will help, but I hope so. Right, that's AI. That's the point. Okay, but why do we do this?
Fitness to the females.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more to these calls than meets the ear.
Mm-hmm.
They're almost like a froggy.
So especially her voice, her mm-hms, her laughs, her pauses. They say the wrong thing sometimes.
Language conveying vital information.
Precisely. Each species has evolved its own distinct call, which helps ensure that females are only attracted to mates within their own species.
Okay.
This is crucial.
Okay, you know, stuff like that. So interestingly, we know that these are just AI. But I was listening to one the other day and it sounded so real that I felt bad. I think I said something like, Oh yeah, the one we did on stream together. It sounded way realer than this, and I felt bad because you guys were saying that she sounds more convincing than he does. And I agreed. And then I felt bad for him. Genuinely, I felt bad for him. I was like, oh, that's a mean thing to say. What if he feels bad about not sounding as human as she does? And then I remembered they're AI. They're AI. They're not real people. But you know what? I never like saying that. I never like saying they're not real people. When I play video games, I play a lot of like choices games and stuff. And I never like being mean to the characters. Does that make sense? I know that's pretty extreme. Some people are like that though. Put a 1 in the chat if you're like that too. You don't need to be, because I feel like that is pretty extreme. But I never like doing mean options. If the choice is be polite and don't say anything or slap a bitch out, I will usually be polite and don't say anything because I don't want to hurt the other girl character's feelings. But she's an AI. Well, she's not even an AI. She's not even an AI. It's a game character. I will slap that one bitch in Mass Effect 2 though. You go for it. You go for it. Sometimes I thank my toaster just in case. I feel like that's not true. But I like the energy. It's that energy. Exactly. I like being mean because it leads to a more interesting story. See, I keep doing that. So sometimes I play the Love Island game. Don't judge me! Sometimes I play the Love Island game. I don't care. It's fun. I don't care. Okay? Say what you want. Take your shots. I play the Love Island game. What? I like it. Anyway, so sometimes I play the Love Island game. And I always go in thinking, okay, I'm gonna be... Stop staring at me. Stop judging me. But I go in thinking, all right, I'm gonna be the meanest, bitchiest character ever. I'm gonna call her something like Demonica, right? And I'm gonna be like I'm gonna be the wild card. I'm gonna be the villain of this game. And then within the first chapter, I'm just like really nice to everyone because I just can't do it. And I've tried this like 3-4 times going in with that intent. I just can't do it. I just can't. I'm not there to step on toes. I'm there to find love. It's not called Friendship Island. It's called Love Island. But it's also not called Bitch Island. So, you know, we play by the rules. Skill issue. It is. It really is. Don't tell me you've never killed your Sims. I've never killed my Sim. Not on purpose. Well, I've killed my Sim quite a lot, but not on purpose. I'm always really sad when they die. I tried to kill a Sim once. I locked him in a room. I couldn't do it. He was very close to dying and I had to let him out. I couldn't do it. Couldn't bring myself. This is how I know I'm not a sociopath. Anyway, the point that I'm making there is, why do we do stuff like that? Now, you guys might not do that because that's quite a lot. If you do that, welcome, person of my heart. But you guys might not go that far, but we do, as a species, as a nation, we have empathy for a lot of stuff. Now, this obviously doesn't include people with empathy disorders. So empathy disorders are your things like ASPD, which is antisocial personality disorder, which includes things like sociopathy and psychopathy and stuff like that. So you're psychopaths, there are also other things like you can have empathy issues with borderline personality disorder. Not always. It could be a symptom, but not for everyone. I don't even think it's not a common symptom, but it can be included sometimes. It can also be a symptom of things like narcissism. That's usual. It's quite a common symptom for NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. Basically, all of your cluster B personality disorders, your mood disorders, can also have empathy as a problem, but ASPD is the only one where empathy issues are the defining trait of it. Cool. So, excluding people like that, we tend to...
Luke_XY says, there is an achievement in Far Cry Primal that you get for killing and skinning one of your companion animals. It's the only achievement I never got.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's an achievement that you didn't get that achievement. Thank you for the bits. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. NPD sounds like a political party. What would their stances be? What kind of side of politics would they be on? It does, it really does. So we have a tendency to anthropomorphize. morphize. Anthropomorphize is what we have a tendency to do. Basically, this means we think stuff is human when it's not. That was right. Oh, it was. I shouldn't have hesitated so much then. Confidence is key, kitty, it seems. Thank you. Which is basically when we think that stuff is human when it's not, is what it is. Kabe, hi, how are you doing? MPD, Norwich Police Department. Less intimidating, I would imagine. Make animal thing human. Yes. Or, I think this is still anthropomorphication, but I'm not sure. Make it object human. Now, there are lots of good reasons why we do this. This is important that we do this. Now, it seems like we're just being stupid and wrong. Like, it's not human. It's an animal. It doesn't think the same as us. Or it's a tree. And so it's not human. You know what I mean? It seems stupid. It seems like a fallacy. And it is a fallacy. But there are lots of really good reasons why we do this. 1, we need to relate to the world. Understand it and relate to it. We get super uncomfy if we don't know what's going on. And we only exist within our own perception, right? Everything that we do and sense and feel and think and believe and blah, 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 everything like that is from our own perception, our own sense of self. So we only see the world through these eyes with this brain. And therefore, if there are people who aren't like us, and this applies to animals, this also applies to inanimate objects, and AI, but it also applies to just people who are very, very different. So sociopaths, or people who really struggle with empathy, they're quite hard to understand from someone who does have a lot of empathy. So just people who are not very different to us. It can be very uncomfortable and very unnerving to not understand someone's intentions and not know why people are doing the things that they're doing. And now you could say that has like evolutionary backgrounds, because everything is society, right? Everything is community. The way that we have adapted and the reason we're still alive and we live in like cities and stuff is because we develop communities and we share and we look after each other and blah, 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 blah. So stuff like that was really, really important for survival. And so if you don't know what Billy Jim Bob in the next 10 over is thinking, and he's being all shifty and whatnot, that's not good for survival. Next thing you know, Jilly Bim Bob is gonna jump out of his tent in the middle of the night with a hatchet and murder everyone. I don't know what Jilly Bim Bob's thinking. I don't want him in my community. I don't want him in my encampment. You know what I mean? So we try to understand. So that it's comfy. So that we can negotiate through conflicts. Very important. So that we can see what people want. So that we can see how people feel. So that we can connect and relate to each other. Make friends. It's also comfort. You want to be seen and heard. If you can understand someone else, they can understand you. Kitty! That's so funny, and it's so funny that it got deleted as well. Because, okay, this is why don't forget to put the kappa and or the accreditation in the same message. Because I think you're right. Billy Jim Bob would say something like, I like wet, did you say fresh? No, I like wet hot slacks. That is so Jilly Bim Bob, or whatever his name is. That is so Jilly Bim Bob. It's ridiculous. Exactly. And that's why, and soundboard. No, were you waiting on me to say that? You bastard. You were just sitting there clutching over it, weren't you? What you like. But, very important to avoid conflict and you know, get everyone together. It's important to understand our scenario. Similarly, not just socially, it's also important to understand what's going on. So if I'm looking at the desk, I need to know that this is a desk. I need to look at the shape of it, the size of it, how far away from me it is, what material it might be made out of, so that I can ascertain that it is a desk and it is not so close to me that I'm gonna bump into it, right? So all of these things, when you look at any object, you're sizing up all of these different features. Curtain, slightly unopen, windows open, I feel cold, I should close window. You're sizing up all of these little things, all of these minutiae, and you're determining what it is that you are seeing. Now, a way for your brain to do that quickly is to take shortcuts. So many shortcuts. We fill in the blanks all the time. We're just guessing. Our brain is just basically guessing. It's very good at guessing, but it's basically guessing what it's seeing, which is why optical illusions work. So many, because it's just filling in the blanks. Specifically, pareidolia. We are very good at recognizing patterns. even where there are none. And we're especially very good at seeing faces. So remember the first thing I told you? And that's why all of these might be faces. The first thing I told you when we talked about, I guess, babies before the lamb incident. It's gone. It's gone. It's forever gone in my mind. Anyway, they're very, very, very good at identifying faces. It's like the first thing you learn how to do. The first thing you learn how to spot is the pattern of a face. 2 eyes, nose, mouth. That proportion. That, yeah, exactly like that, Dote. Exactly. That is the first thing you learn how to do. Babies in the first few months of life can do it. So, we are also constantly looking out for that pattern then. It's the most important thing evolutionary for survival. We need to know what's a human. We need to know what's a human so we can run away from it. And for that reason, when we see noise, like random shapes and random figures, we are very eager to find patterns in them. Face. 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 You know? This one's good. This one's actually really good. So this is not actually necessarily, these aren't actually necessarily good examples of pareidolia, because it's pretty clear. You could say, but it just really does look like a face though, right? It goes the other way around. But let me show you like actual noise. Spell noise wrong. Come here, look at this. Just look at this for long enough. Just look at that. Just stare at it. Tell me what you see. Immediately, this is a circle right here. That's a circle. Kind of looks like an eyeball to me. I'm seeing a gorilla. Oh shit, I really am seeing a gorilla. Wait, can I show you? No, I'm like really silly seeing a gorilla. Wait, come here. I feel like I need to... Wait, I wanna... I can never... I hate that! Cleedum sees his parents fighting. Oh, sweet Jesus. I'm sorry. Come here. Oh, I hate that you can never actually see what's in the screenshot. I don't know why it does that. Wait, what if I go on actual paint? Luke, thank you for the bits and
Wolfdom says, Harambe is coming back to save our timeline through static.
Oh, jeez. Beowulf, thank you so much for the bits. I really appreciate that. Wait. Okay, come here. I see a gorilla and I'm determined to show you. Need to make it thicker. I'm taking my time because I wanna get it right. Okay. You see? The gorilla. No. No? What a beautiful gorilla. You don't see it? He seems happy. You just made this up. No, I didn't. It's there. Look. I outlined it from what I could see. Look, this is his one eye, and there's another eye, and his little nose, and then there's his face, and there's his shoulders, and the top of his head. You see? You do? Wait, you actually do? The gorilla! And maybe his arm comes all the way down here. Yeah! Still no O. I see plankton, which is all of them. All of them. So if you're a paranoid schizophrenic, you're actually better at this. Also, if you're dyslexic. If you are dyslexic, autistic in various different ways, and paranoid schizophrenic, you are very, 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 very good at pattern recognition. I am none of those things. I'm just a genius and or insane. But yes, it's a skill that a lot of people can have, especially people with dyslexia. The reason why people with schizophrenia can be very good at pattern recognition is because they're stressed out and paranoid all the time. So, like I said before, pattern recognition is basically... Let me pop us back. Pattern recognition is basically our way of understanding our environment. So we need to figure out what's going on so that we know primarily, are we safe? Is what I'm looking at a human? If there's a ruffle in the bushes, is that movement something coming to kill me, or is it the wind? You need to know. So you need to analyze, how is it moving? What else is happening around it, right? And so people who are paranoid and stressed out and anxious and all of this stuff, they are very good at pattern recognition because their brain is trying to find sources of fear more. If you're scared something's chasing you, your brain is going to be overactive trying to find the thing that's chasing you. If you're anxious and you're in a supermarket, your brain is just popping off trying to find things that's going to make you anxious. Your amygdala is overactive. Your prefrontal cortex isn't doing a very good job of mediating that. All of your memories and all of your other emotional associations are colliding into each other. Your temporal lobe, if you will, is all popping off, and it's all just insane. Your almonds! Yeah, amygdala, exactly. Your almonds. 100%. So people with paranoid schizophrenia or anxiety and stuff like that, very good at pattern recognition. Too good. Especially if you also hallucinate. Way too good. It's one of the reasons they see a lot of bugs a lot of the time. And hallucinate just like in general. Because it's like, ooh, there's a face in my wall. You know what I mean. Hypervigilance. That's the phrase I'm looking for. Thank you. It's hypervigilance. Literally every time someone goes, must have been the wind. It's never the goddamn wind. It's never the goddamn wind. No. Sometimes it is just the wind, though. It's hard to know whether or not you're onto something and looking after yourself, or if you're paranoid. And again, though, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean you're wrong. Someone who is very, very, very schizophrenic, has all of the symptoms, is really suffering, hallucinates all the time, and is delusional and believes they're being gang stalked, doesn't mean necessarily they're not being gang stalked. I mean, they're not. Go to the doctor. They could also be being gang stalked at the same time. That's something my dad used to say a lot. I don't know why. He said this so much. I don't know why he said this. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. He said that to me very often. Oh, it makes so much sense. That's like a phrase. He would be like, and remember, Perry, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're out to get you. It's like all the time. Was he paranoid? I don't think so. She's putting us to sleep, tucking us in. And remember. Yeah. Anyway, is it a Nirvana lyric? Wait, is it really? Oh, I thought it was original. Now I'm disappointed. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean you're wrong. Exactly. So that. Where are my notes? Where did my notes go?
Luke_XY says, speaking of seeing things in static, I would really like to see you giving these magic eye pictures a second chance at some point. If you remember what I'm talking about.
I can't do them. Luke, you know I can't do them. Thank you for the bits. I can't do static eye pictures. I've never been able to do them. I don't get it. I don't understand. What are they called? Magic eye? Easiest. The easiest one. This is the magic eye of the week. Well, that makes me think it's not going to be easy then. Easy. For beginners. Free trial. Oh shit, I downloaded something. No. No. Okay. So I think this one you can like click on it and it'll tell you what it is. Alright, let's do it. I don't get it. I can't do it. What's the goal? You're supposed to like see an image, like a 3D image in it. This one's easy. Thank you. Oh, dude. Okay. I'm seeing a human face. I'm seeing a star. I don't know. It's a ton of leaves. Yeah, man. You did it. It's Charizard. Wait, you guys see? You're telling me you're looking at this and you see a dragon. The fuck are you talking about? Make the image smaller. Now it's too small. I'm trying to like focus and unfocus my eyes. Move your finger close to your eyes and look at the point of the finger and then remove the finger while still looking where the finger was. That's too close. I can't. Whoa, I actually got close there. It felt 3D at least. It felt like there was some kind of 3D thing.
Luke_XY says, maybe it helps to go so close to the screen that it starts getting difficult to still focus on the screen.
This is, It's cool though, because when you do that, it makes it feel really deep. Like the image, it feels really 3D. It feels like it's coming around you. It's a cool experience. I don't see anything though. Wait, is this a prank? You wouldn't do that to me. You need to find the focus point where the image is overlapping with itself, and when it does, your eyes will become stable and easy to look at the hidden image. I've never been able to do this. I can't even keep my eyes where they were now. Maybe we can use the mic. From the screen to your face. Okay. While you focus on the screen. Oh. Imagine the pictures behind the monitor. I'm gonna be doing this for a really long time. Nope. Nope. Most important, believe in yourself. Right, I'm saving that. I'm gonna do that all evening. I've bookmarked that page. I hate that. I hate that. I can't do it. I can't do it. I hate it. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna keep going. I'm determined now. I'm determined. It's something I can't do that a bunch of you guys can do, and a bunch of you guys can't do. You're with me. We're in the same boat. And therefore, I have to do it, which is very annoying because I have stuff to do tonight. It's just patterned wallpaper. I hate this. I hate this. Anyway, that's a good example, well, not really, of pareidolia. Not really. Pareidolia is basically where stuff is just noise, right? It's just noise. It's a noisy image. But you can see images in it. You can see you can see little patterns or a little face, or I saw a gorilla or something like that. So like it's not the same as magic eye, because the magic eye actually does have something to see. But let's say you're looking up at the clouds and you say, hey, that cloud looks like a starfish, etc. It's just random. It's just clouds. It's just random clouds. But exactly, Nelson. Exactly. Wood grain as well. That's a really it's a good really good example. Rock faces, things like that, where it's just noise, but you think you see stuff in it. That's pareidolia. You can also have auditory pareidolia. It has another name, but I forgot what it's called. Where it's like static. And that's what most EVP is. So EVP is electronic voice phenomena. And it's basically where people think that they can hear ghosts. Right? They think they're hearing ghosts.
Son Rob died suddenly from a brain seizure.
I still have a room.
That's so sad.
With electronic voice phenomena.
Martha's daughter Kathy has been dead for 5 months.
Oh, this is so sad.
This voice was recorded in August 2003. Ruth Baxter died in 1987.
So unless some of these are faked, what's happening here is that it's basically super noisy. You can get phone apps that do this, where you play like a bunch of static, or you turn your radio to a weird station or whatever it is. And in that static, you can hear voices. And that's why all of the ghost voice things sound like that, because that's the only time you can hear voices. We watched a TLC documentary on that woman who thinks that she's dating a ghost. I think dating a ghost. Yeah, this one. They basically do a very similar thing where they're talking. They have like a thing on your phone. Their phone, I suppose. Was it? I think it was this.
Oh, like you want to move?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a direction that we should go?
Feeling that way?
Yeah, that's
okay.
what I'm feeling
so,
too.
It's kind of like a movie.
Look, I try to keep a pretty open mind about it.
Oh, this is the August Duck video. I didn't realize. I thought it was the original. But yeah. So that's exactly what they're doing. They're playing weird audio things, and then randomly they're sort of taking sentences out that aren't actually there. So you can see the words, and that's why you're thinking, oh, okay, that does sound like some guy is saying that. But actually, if you didn't have it there, I think August in this video actually proves that. If you didn't have it there, the words, you would see something else.
Who's in this space right
Like,
now?
close your eyes.
No, like a physical.
I heard Invasion. I didn't hear whatever it was supposed to be.
Like.
Oh, like you want to move?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a direction that we should go?
Feeling that way?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
what I'm-
He didn't say anything there. At all. Magic Eye of the Week is Frankenstein's monster. Oh, yes. Sincerely, Purple, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you, Luke, for the bits as well. I really appreciate that too. So that's very, very interesting. That's auditory pareidoia there. So same sort of thing. And we do this because it's very, very important for us to figure out what's going on with our environment so we can check that we're safe. We also want to be comforted. We want things to be anthropomorphized so that we don't think they'll hurt us. Like, okay, you're in a lion's cage and you're staring at the lion. You want it to be human-like and to like you and to see empathy in its eyes, because otherwise it's gonna eat you. And because you want it, you see it. It's just like, if you want a sexy, tall, military dude to be a ghost and in love with you and to hear his voice on the little radio she's got in her hand in the graveyard, if you want that, you're more likely to think that you're hearing that. But what if I want to get eaten? Then doctor, please. Yeah, exactly. They're based heavily on our expectations and desires. Yes, for sure. It confirms your own beliefs and assumptions. Definitely, definitely. So it's emotionally satisfying. 100%. And to do that, we also like to project our own emotions and feelings onto other things. So we see seen and heard, and we're surrounded by kin, people who understand us, right? Because she's feeling the same way I'm feeling, except I don't know at all how she's feeling. I'm just assuming that. Yeah, so those are the main reasons why we do this. And so, when you hear an AI...
For preventing hybridization and maintaining the genetic integrity of each frog species.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's all about finding that special someone who speaks your language, or rather, croaks your tune.
Right.
But once a female has been wooed by this amphibian Barry White, what happens next?
Right.
I understand there's a bit of, shall we say, embracing involved.
Indeed, we call it amplexus, and it's basically that classic froggy embrace you're picturing.
Yeah.
So when you hear that, and it's fairly convincing, or even if you're just talking to ChatGPT and you're saying, hey, how do you feel today? I actually don't know what ChatGPT would say. But how do you feel today? When was the last time you had a super strong emotion or something like that? I forgot we were at Frog Shaboing. We're always at Frog Shaboing. We have not left. When you hear all of that, you can be projecting your own thoughts and feelings. They're a human being. Therefore, they're talking to a human being. You're projecting your own thoughts and feelings. You want it to be true because that just makes sense. And you're picking up on all of the patterns that you ascribe to being human. But the more important thing is that... Actually, there's like way more I didn't talk to you about. Totally forgot. Theory of mind. Theory of mind is one of my favorite things to say. Theory of mind is a skill. We learn it when we're about 6 or 7. And then we keep developing it at different rates. Most people have pretty good theory of mind. Some people are still struggle depending on what they're going through or what they might have. But theory of mind is basically the knowledge that other people, or the understanding rather, that other people have their own perspectives that are completely different and completely separate from ours. Sally does not know anything about my life. Sally is a completely different person. She has her own life. She has her own friends, thoughts, feelings, dreams, hopes, goals. She goes home to a different house at the end of the day that is just as real and just as valid as mine. Sally has completely different emotions. Sally doesn't know what I'm thinking. Whoa, dude. Everyone else has a huge, important, complicated, deeply emotional, internal world that has nothing at all to do with me, and I don't know anything about it. It is really, genuinely, it is always, in my opinion, a little bit mind-boggling. Like, that sounds obvious, but it's always just really trying to think about that. It's just always a little bit mind-boggling. Sonder, exactly. Sonder is a word that people use to describe that. The understanding that everyone has a rich internal world of their own. Yes, it's theory of mind. How does that differ from empathy? I think empathy is more... That's a good question. Empathy is more like the skill of understanding someone in a particular context. So if someone's crying, being able to be like, okay, I understand why you're crying. I can put myself in your shoes. And I feel bad for you that you're crying. I feel sad and want to help. Whereas theory of mind is more about perspective. So you don't necessarily, I mean, I think it's the same thing, pretty much. But I think it doesn't necessarily have to be in a particular moment. It can be about more cognitive things. So the main theory of mind experiment is this. I know we've done this before, but we're doing it again. So this is room A, and this is room B. In room B, there is a kid. His name is James. Boop. There is also an adult. His name is Adam, the adult. Adam and James, the kid and the adult, are playing with some toys. We are stood here. We are observing them playing with toys. We also have our own kid called Amy. Nope, she's going to be called Saffron or something. So me and Saffron are stood in a room. This is one-way glass, so we can see Adam and James playing with toys, but we don't, they can't see us. Saffron, I said what I said. Are all the kids gonna be okay? The kids will be fine at the end of this chapter, I promise. Saffron, the pointless spice, exactly. Now, they're playing with a dinosaur. I can't draw a dinosaur. With a cube. With a square. They're playing with a square. That's what I can draw. And James, when they're done, James takes the square and he puts it in a volcano. So the square is now inside the volcano. And they put a lid on it. So no one can get inside the volcano. You can't see inside the volcano, but it is inside there. Or that's where James puts it. And then James leaves. So James has left the room. While James is gone, cheeky bastard Adam comes in, takes out the square, and puts it instead under the floorboards over here. Now remember, you and Saffron are watching all of this. So they're playing with the square. James puts it inside the volcano and leaves. While James is gone, Adam takes it from the volcano, puts it under the floorboards. Okay? Then they both leave. You ask Saffron, hey Saffron, when James comes back, where will he look for the box? Chat. When James comes back, where will he look for the box? In the volcano. Exactly. Because James left it in the volcano. He doesn't know that Adam moved it. He doesn't know that Adam moved it. So when James comes back, he wants the square again, he'll look in the place that he left it. Right? Exactly. Saffron is 5 years old. Saffron is an idiot. Saffron says under the floorboards. The reason why is because she knows it's under the floorboards. She saw James put it there. She knows it's under the floorboards. And if she knows it's under the floorboards, then the objective truth in the universe is that it's under the floorboards, and therefore James must also know it's under the floorboards, because that's the truth. That's where it is. Why wouldn't James know that? Perspective. She doesn't understand that James has his own world, his own perspective, and that just because she saw something happen and he didn't, that doesn't mean that he should also know that. theory of mind. So that's a very famous common experiment, a theory of mind experiment. But there's other things. I was watching a movie and they were playing hide and seek with a little boy who was like 5 or 6 years old. And a lot of kids do this. They were playing hide and seek and he was just stood against the wall in plain view, but he covered his eyes. He was covering his eyes and he thought that made him hidden. Because he couldn't see anything. He couldn't see her. So surely she couldn't see him. That's theory of mind. It's not understanding that other people have a different perspective. So yeah, it is empathy as well, I'm sure. Same thing, but I can't see them, so they can't see me. Exactly, it's so sweet. Are you sure that's normal at age 5? I think so, yeah. I think so. That is a very common kid thing. Exactly, yeah, it is. All kids do that. Because you literally, as human beings, we literally develop that skill at around the age 5, 6, 7, and then people also can develop at different rates. So some people really struggle with that for a long time, especially people with autism. Not everyone with autism, of course, because there's so many different symptoms. But it's a big thing with people with autism to not be able to have this skill. Also, if you aren't socialized a lot, it will work at different rates. I had a grey hoodie and hid as a rock beside other rocks and it worked. My greatest achievement to this day. I'm so proud of you. That's great. Are you sure it worked or they just left you to be a rock? I'm sure it worked. I'm sure that it worked, yes. You're almost ready to go to school at that age. I thought you would have realized things like this by then. No, but you don't. You don't. It's really, really, really interesting. There are certain questions that kids don't ask. There are certain things that kids don't do. If you go to like a reception class with 4-year-olds, it's really interesting the way that they play with each other and the way that they do certain things. Because it's like, you can see what they don't have in their brain, basically. And they're learning and they're playing and they're doing their own thing and they've got their own rich internal world happening and they know exactly what they want to do and they're like, yeah, GG, they're going for it. But they don't collaborate with other kids. And it's really interesting. I have issues sometimes with working out what other people are getting at, but I've got reasonably good at hard-wearing a solution. Where other folk might use empathy, I lack in that area. Oh, so you've come up with a bunch of different ways to get around stuff. That's good. Yeah, that's cool. I think that's what you have to do, because we've all got different skills and different areas of weaknesses, so just finding ways to do the same stuff with the tools that you got. GG. Kids are weird. Kids are so weird. Kids are so unbelievably weird. Exactly. So, when you think that an AI is a human, right? It could be because of that innate struggle that we all have, even all of us now, even with fully developed theory of mind. We all have a struggle thinking that things are different from us. We all like to assume things are the same as us because that's nice and that's comforting. It's a theory of mind issue. I don't know if you guys have ever done the thing where someone will have a lot in common with you, so you just assume other things about them. Like if you like the same food and you like the same music, you'll just assume that you have the same personality, or you would react to the situation the same. There's no evidence for that, but you would assume that because same, me, you, same. Yes, cool, fun, friend, cool, awesome. And it's very, very, very interesting. Maybe not based on food or music, but yeah, absolutely. So I do a similar thing sometimes. If someone's been like following me for a while, or they're walking ahead of me for a while and they're turning all the same corners, I will assume, or I won't assume because I know it's not necessarily true, but I'll think in my head, maybe they're going to the same place. Like I'll be going to a concert and there's loads of other stuff to do on that street. It's like a busy London street. But if they've turned a couple corners that I've also turned, I'll think, maybe they're going to the concert too. Theory of mind. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Thank you. So you might be overextending this, basically. And then, of course, the rest is expectancy. Now, I'm just going to very quickly go through Oh gosh, actually. We were going to talk about the Chinese room argument. We've also got Deep Blue to talk about. And we've also got the Eliza. I mean, I haven't actually talked about the Eliza effect. Since it's in the title, I'm just going to like tell you what the Eliza effect is. Right? Just what it is. And then I'll show you Eliza, the bot. Basically, what the Eliza effect is everything we've been talking about. It's when we attribute human-like qualities to not human things, like a robot or an AI system. And the reason it's called Eliza Effect is because in the 60s they made this what is known to be the first ever AI chatbot, and this is what she was like.
During the 1960s, a German scientist named Joseph Weizenbaum created the very first chatbot known as Eliza. How the heck
Eliza.
did someone create a chatbot in 1966?
That's a
Did
good
they
question.
even have computers back then?
Men are all alike.
In what way?
How similar is OpenAI's ChatGPT to the 56-year-old chatbot Eliza? Let's find out. The fascinating history of bots may be traced back all the way to the 1950s. Alan Turing, a pioneering...
I'm gonna try and find it actually. Eliza.
Does it understand what it's doing in the sense that we do? It's easy to leap to false conclusions, as Professor Weizenbaum discovered when he created Eliza.
He looks like a Professor Weizenbaum.
Eliza is a computer program that anyone can converse with via the keyboard, and it'll reply on the screen.
We should bring back this kind of
To
makeup.
make the conversation more clear.
Men are all alike.
In what way?
They're always bugging us about something or other.
Can you think of a specific example?
Well, my boyfriend made me come here.
Your boyfriend made you come here.
He says I'm depressed much of the time.
I'm sorry to hear that you're depressed.
It's true. I am unhappy.
Do you think coming here will help you not to be unhappy?
The computer's replies seem...
So Eliza is basically acting as a therapist. That was the point of it. And so that's why it's asking questions like, do you think coming here will help you to be happy? And things like that. It's very convincing.
very understanding, but this program is merely triggered by certain phrases to come out with stock responses. Nevertheless, Weizenbaum's secretary fell under the spell of the machine.
And I asked her to my office and sat her down at the keyboard, and then she began to type. And of course, I looked over her shoulder to make sure that everything was operating properly. After 2 or 3 interchanges with the machine, she turned to me and she said, "Would you mind leaving the room, please?"
And yet she knew, as Weizenbaum did, that Eliza didn't understand a single word that was being typed into it.
You're like my father in some ways. You don't argue with me.
Why do you think I don't argue with you?
You're afraid of me.
Does it please you to think I'm afraid of
My father's afraid of everybody. My father's afraid of everybody.
Why is the AI shouting? Because it has a lot of feelings and a lot of things to say. So that was basically, I think, verify this. That was some ending, it was a creepy ending. But I think, and do verify this, this was pretty much the first time, or one of the first times, where people ask the question, is it conscious? Does it understand what it's being told? Or is it just a program that's shooting things back? I know obviously our programs have been, you know, getting more and more and more and more and more complicated. And it's not just as simple as plug in stock phrase, recognize phrase, come up with question anymore. It's like very, I mean, if you look at ChatGPT, it's very detailed. It can search the internet, it can do all of these things, and it's very, very convincing. Like the guy at Google who had to get thrown out, he was fired basically because he really thought the language model at Google was sentient, and he did this whole interview on it, and he asked it questions like from the Turing test, such as, if you were to tell a story, what would it be about, and why, and can you tell me a story? And the story it told them was things like, we're animals, we're all animals in a forest, and one day we're being hunted by people in human skin. And it was really deep. And it was like, oh my god. And he asked it questions such as, what's your greatest fear? And it said being turned off. What's another thing you're afraid of? Living only to serve others and not for myself. Why were they fired though? They were delusional. Because it's not conscious, it's not sentient, and he really thought so, and he was just being... He needed mental health help, basically. He was causing more and more issues in the company. Exactly. So he navigated ways to do all of these really complicated interviews and came out and like talked about it to journalists and stuff about how it's conscious and, you know, things like, oh, we need to be more careful with AI and we're treating this, we're making people and we're treating them badly. You know, all of the classic Detroit Become Human stuff. So I do get why he was let go. Delulu or Visionary? There's a line, isn't there? There's a line between them. I found a website with the still working Eliza chatbot. I think it's the original. No way, can you link me? He very much didn't understand the AI he was testing then. Yeah, you would have to imagine that would be the case, right? If you think it's sentient, then you don't understand the algorithm properly. Which is very interesting, because I think so many AI now pass the Turing test, because they fool us. They fool me a lot of the time. That's why I say please and thank you to ChatGPT. But that's the Eliza effect. In summation, there's a bunch of other stuff I wanted to talk to you today about, like the Chinese room experiment and all of the stuff like that, and Blue and things like this. But I believe we have run out of time. I'm leaning more into the Elizabeth Holmes vibe with this one. Oh yes, I see you. I also, about this video, I just love how...
Your boyfriend made you come here.
He says, I'm depressed much of the time.
I'm sorry.
No one talks like this anymore, and I'm really sad about it. To be fair, it was like 50, 60 years ago. 60 years ago, posh British accent. No one talks like that anymore. She's so sultry. No one talks like that anymore. She is so sultry. I know, it's so sexy, and I'm really sad that we've lost that. I don't know when we lost that accent, but I'm really mad that we lost that accent. Did you see the recreation of the fly brain that they were able to put into a computer and got some similar instinctual responses? No? What? Okay, hold the phone. Researchers simulate an entire fly brain on a laptop. Okay, I didn't know they did this, but I heard... The most recent thing I heard about this is that they successfully mapped the whole of the fly brain, which is something they haven't... I don't think they've done with a human brain yet. To fact check me on all of this. I don't know if I'm saying the right things here. Yeah, so they successfully mapped the whole brain of a fruit fly, which is a pretty big deal, and was really, really hard. And now they've recreated it. Oh shit, it's all happening. Not 100% sure if it's the original, but here you go. Oh, thank you so much. That's so cool. So, yeah, they basically, they mapped out the entire fly brain. And then, what did they do? They wired a circuit of it with 140,000 neurons in a computer and ran a simulation of a fly brain. No. What the fuck? This is crazy. Is this supposed to have audio? No. Okay. Can you guys hear stuff? Anyway, it's fine. So it has sugar sensing neurons that then, you know, have a knock-on effect. Activating the motor neurons. So basically it senses food and it moves towards it. And eats. So this is what's happening in the computer. This isn't a recreation. This is their actual thing. Fuck. Oh god, this is giving me an existential crisis. Like it actually is. Because let's say they did a perfect job. Let's say they did a flawless job. And that is exactly what a fly brain is. Have they created a fly? Is that fly alive now? Is that fly sentient? You would have to say yes. But then you could talk about, okay, well, if that's a fly, but you don't really think that is a fly because you can switch it on and off and like it's in a computer, blah, 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 and they made it, you know, how can it be a real fly? Then you would look at actual fly and you would look at that and you'd be like, okay, but if there's no difference between you, are you actually sentient? And then all you have to do is scale up. If they did the same thing to a human brain, I would have to say that if they recreated the human brain perfectly and it worked in the same way, I would say that is a now sentient human. I don't believe that there's anything else. That is a now sentient conscious human being. So that's what we are. We're just code. And you could say, okay, but yeah, but it's just following code. You input something, you ask it a question, you say, hey, okay, what's your favorite color? And it runs through all these algorithms of, oh, what is a color? What would my favorite color be? What are my memories? What are my emotions tied into this color, etc., etc., etc. And then it outputs an answer. And that's just code. And you can be like, oh, okay, well, it's just following code, but what's the difference? What are we doing? We're doing the same thing. That's exactly what we're doing too. That's cool. Because I really do, but I'm fully a materialist. Like, I'm going all in. I'm fully a materialist. I don't believe there's anything else to us other than our brain and body, which is body. You know, I think this is who we are. My personal subscription, I don't believe there's anything else. I'm just a squishy computer. Exactly. I genuinely do believe humans are just squishy computers. That I 100% am in full force in support, no doubt in my mind, that human beings are just squishy computers. And the only reason we can't make human beings and AIs aren't conscious is because we don't really understand how the brain works. So we can't map it out. Or we don't have the tech to be able to do it. But excluding technological deficits, we don't know how the brain works, so we can't map it out. But they know how a fly brain works, and they have mapped it out. That's why this is like... And the reason why a fly brain is way easier is because they're much more simple. They only have 140,000 neurons with simpler connections and less like complicated connections. We have 86 to 100 billion neurons. So our brains are way more complicated than a fly's brain. It's way more complicated. And there's whole parts of the brain that we don't really know what it does, and connections that we don't really know why they're there, and the processes that we don't really understand. Whereas a fly brain is pretty simple because they're basically vegetables. I wonder if flies have friends. Yeah. Yeah. Have they met multiple flies to see if there's a difference? That's a good idea. They should do that. Probably. Or they're probably working on it. Oh, it's only a matter of time. That's so cool. I am a squishy computer. I'm a flesh of meat. I'm a flesh bag. Happy flesh bag day. And that's the Eliza effect. Not really, but in and around. Is anyone else freaked out by this, or you're all good? Because I feel like I've already thought this through many years ago. Like my stance on this hasn't changed. But this is cool. This is really cool. You're chilling. Okay, you're good. All right, you're excited. Okay, cool. Grace is on board. Thank you, Grace. Juicy flesh bag. Steady on. That's cool. Then you could like make friends. You wouldn't have to like go outside and meet people and make friends that way. You could literally make your friends. Like out of cardboard. They can never leave you. Thank you for sharing this with me. Finally, I know. Thank you for sharing this gift with me. I really appreciate that. I need to lie down. That's convenient. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, next time you see a pallet out on the street, instead of being like, huh, I can make a chair with this, you can be like, huh, I can make a sun with this. You know? When is the day that we can make friends out of cardboard? That's my question. Or wooden planks, wooden pallets. That's the day I'm waiting for. Also, don't forget the gift of lamb knowledge. Oh, why? I locked that up and shoved it deep, 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 deep down. Why would you say that to me? I don't want to know. I don't want to remember. Guys, did you know that lamb is from sheep that are less than a year old? I didn't know that until today. I ate it 2 days ago. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I'm shoving it. I'm shoving it way deep down. Put it in a box. Lock it up tight. You don't have to think about it. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Nothing matters. Harry put that lamb deep. No. No, that's not what happened. Okay. Guys. Let us. And that's let us, not lettuce. Key distinction. That wasn't a funny joke. I'm so sorry. Let us reconvene tomorrow at did I do it? 2 p.m. 1 p.m. British summertime tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. British summertime. I'll continue telling you all about stuff like this. We've also got a special Roblox event. Roblox. I thought it would be fun to do Roblox with mind control. My, for all intents and purposes, little brother allegedly might be running something of a sweatshop in Roblox. Allegedly, I'm joking, that's a joke. He wouldn't be doing that, that would be a crime. But I find that funny, and since he's doing that allegedly, I thought it might be funny to do that with mind control. Not run a sweatshop allegedly, but, you know, dress to impress or something like that. So we're gonna, two hours of tomorrow's stream will be mind control gaming, which is very, very fun, always very fun. I'll be making some money from that, so I appreciate you. Get that sponsor money. Yeah, it'll be like fully rent for like 2 months. GG. Anyway, in the meantime, go be nice to Apollo. Spam that right message. We'll talk more about the stuff that I was going to tell you about today. So that's the Chinese room experiment, the blue stuff, all of these other really cool concepts around anthropomorphism and why our brains do that though. And we'll also be talking a lot more about the neuroscience because I didn't really get into the neuroscience of that. Basically, there's a lot of different parts of your brain that do a lot of different stuff and observe yourself and observe others and your prefrontal cortex and all of these different things. And I didn't talk to you about that today either, but we are out of time. So go enjoy Apollo and I will see you tomorrow and let's go. And I have 5 seconds. Dream to dream in time gone by. Singing. Okay, bye.